experience that'll leave you with memories that last a lifetime. Call Blind Date Charters at 239-810-2473. That's 239-810-2473.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 6 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
A pathway to citizenship. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. For some immigrants in the U.S. illegally, something President Biden's pushing for in new legislation being unveiled today by Democrats.
Senator Bob Menendez and Congresswoman Linda Sanchez unveiled the administration's U.S. Citizenship Act of 2021. Now, in it, it creates an 8-year pathway to citizenship for 11 million undocumented immigrants already here. It replaces the term alien to non-citizen in immigration law. It clears family backlogs, and it stipulates no added enforcement mechanisms.
Fox's Griff Jenkins. Tomorrow, a Biden order ending the Trump remain in Mexico policy takes effect, allowing some migrants to enter the U.S. while still awaiting asylum hearings. Republican Senator Bill Hagerty warns it will reward abuse for our asylum laws and endanger American communities. Millions of Americans are still without power and heat amid snow and ice and cold, and some of them have been without it for a week in Oregon and for days in Texas. Governor Greg Abbott.
Every source of power that the state of Texas has been compromised.
Water main breaks and other issues also have millions across Texas ordered to boil water at home before using it. And for millions more Americans in the East, more wintry weather today.
Icy mixture for the Appalachians as well as Virginia and North Carolina. And it looks like mostly snow for the Northeast.
That's Fox meteorologist Janice Dean. The FBI and U.S. Attorney's Office in New York reportedly now investigating that state's Governor Andrew Cuomo in the controversy over New York nursing home deaths in this COVID crisis. Millions of conservatives are mourning Rush Limbaugh's death. Unable to listen to the talk radio icon anymore, many Republican lawmakers have paid tribute. Even former President Trump spoke publicly for the first time in a while, telling Fox,
"He'll never be forgotten. He's one of the people will not be forgotten. Big impact. Great guy."
Rush Limbaugh was 70. He'd battled lung cancer. America's listening to Fox News.
This update is presented by Johnston Spinal Care, the leader in spinal decompression. Find them online at 596back.com.
Wink News traffic.
A hit-and-run crash in Fort Myers at Fowler and Kathryn Street is shutting down southbound lanes on Fowler. So if you usually take this route heading south of Edison to Hanson, you'll have to hop on Central, Jackson, even US 41 to avoid it. Also, slowdowns in Lehigh Acres on Jaguar heading east of Eisenhower towards Columbus. Only a tap on the brakes on Bell Boulevard if you're making that northbound commute towards Milwaukee. Traffic is starting to slow down on Alabama heading south to State Road 82, but 82 is still up to speed heading to Gunnery. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Patchy fog possible for your Thursday morning, but get ready for a warm, breezy forecast for your Thursday with a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Few stray showers possible, but overall pretty limited. Most are dry. Then into tomorrow, another breezy day as a cold front approaches, and that is going to be bringing in scattered areas of rain and even a few storms. Now, once the front clears, we're cooler, we're drier into the weekend. Actually, Saturday morning, lows in the 40s and 50s, highs in the lower 70s, and a good amount of sunshine throughout the weekend. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
More delightful than driving a convertible Bentley while wearing mink underpants. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Southwest Florida, Lee County Fair.
The 97th Annual Southwest Florida and Lee County Fair is coming with $1 Day Thursday, February 25th at 4 p.m. This is $1 gate admission and $1 rides with a minimum of $10 purchase. On opening day, free daily entertainment such as Canines in Flight, Danny Grant's Cowboy Circus, Prehistoric Adventures, Mark Dobson, and more. Mega passes and general admission tickets are on sale now. Visit swflcfair.com for details. Following CDC guidelines.
Southwest Florida, Lee County Fair.
This is Lois. At Wink News, we're on the phone. We're on the beat. We're on the scene.
We're working every angle. We're working for you.
From breaking news to the Weather Authority.
We are rainfall experts. More than 60 years of reporting excellence is a reputation earned. How do we do what we do?
Sorry, I can't talk right now. Sorry, I'm too busy.
We tell you how we're doing it.
Sorry, I'm on assignment right now. I'm on a deadline.
We weren't so busy doing it.
Getting it first, getting it right.
Trust Wink News. Weeknights at 6.
Next, Rachel.
You say jump, I say A, how high, and B, where and when, and
Get down with Drew. Drew Barrymore.
She made that, Rachel.
Then.
You then really notice what's missing, which is everything.
Yeah. A personal update from Rach and John about their home rebuild.
Good to see some bones.
And get stuffed on a cozy comfort meal.
It smells amazing in here.
Next, Rachel.
Rachel Ray, this morning at 11 on WXCW.
Being involved in a legal dispute can leave you feeling like you've lost control. I'm Eli Anajar from the law offices of Anajar & Levine. Understanding the law and the rules of evidence can mean the difference between winning or losing your case. If you are involved in a legal dispute and are not sure of your options, call the law offices of Anajar & Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Offices Fort Myers and Naples.
Dell Technologies advisors listen to your small business needs so they can provide you with tailored solutions powered by Intel vPro platform. Call today at 877-ASK-DELL.
I'm Harvey Massey. Where we live, there's several types of termites, and they can all cause damage to your home. Subterranean termites invade from colonies below the ground, while drywood termites fly in and infest exposed wood in your home. Both require different treatments. That's why you need Massey's Total Coverage Termite Protection. Our guarantee covers all types of termites and includes coverage for retreatment and repair of any new damage. That's Massey Services. Expect more and get it.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steve.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. I am so glad you're joining us today. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line, a line that I hope that you will be using often this morning because, oh, by the way, also you can watch the program, drewsteele.com. Steele has 3 E's. You can go there. It's mobile friendly if you want to watch on your phone or your mobile device or on your computer. And, of course, YouTube and Facebook both at Drew Steele Radio. And I really wanted this morning to be a moment where, as a community, as individuals who loved Rush, that now that we know the day that we knew was coming, we just didn't know when, has arrived, and how Rush passed yesterday, and how influential he was in all of our lives, quite honestly, that I thought today would be a day where we could remember and we can go back and think of our own lives and the influence that Rush had on us. And I'm hopeful that you'll call this morning, 239-479-5592, and share your thoughts, share your memories. Listen, I was thinking about this morning, and as I talked to a couple of people, the news isn't going anywhere, everybody. The news isn't going anywhere, and I'm sure later on in the morning and with other programs here on the station, you'll get a chance to hear some of the news of the day. But I have to be honest with you, for me today, on this day, after hearing of the passing of Rush yesterday afternoon, it's for me this morning is all about having a conversation with you about Rush and playing some audio, some great audio of Rush in the past and some of the things you may or may not remember, the TV show, how influential the TV show was. And people don't even realize that. Rush, the TV program, and what was brought to attention during the TV shows, and how Rush could do things that nobody can do now, have not been able to do, and will not be able to do in the future. There will not be another Rush Limbaugh. And so I thought this morning, again, we would take your calls, 239-479-5592. And as we go through the morning, play some clips. The former president of the United States, Donald Trump, had a lot to say yesterday in the afternoon on the passing of Rush, and then last night on Hannity's program. And so we will play some audio there of the former president and what he had to say. Mike Pence as well, former vice president, had some words to say, remembering full well that even on the floor of the House at the time, that he was talking about how the reason why he was standing where he was standing was because of Rush. And how even in my life and thinking about even some of the local connections that I have and memories of the first time that I had a chance to hear Rush. And the big takeaway, I would say, for me personally is this. I don't know if there was anyone that at the time when you first had a chance to hear Rush's voice, hear the program, nothing like it. The way he was able to do it, the way he was able to explain complex issues, supply side economics and tax issues and so many other things that you can go through that maybe you heard about, you wanted to talk about, but you couldn't articulate and explain, and the way he was able to lay it out in such an entertaining way. But not only that, I think fundamentally the one thing I do remember listening to Rush and saying to myself that every single time he would articulate a point or he was doing his show, which was so incredibly entertaining, that he was making, I'm trying to figure out the best way to put this. And again, maybe you can explain how Rush affected your life as well, maybe as a Rush baby or maybe through the TV show, or even recently. Remember, Rush, for many people, Rush is not a recent phenomenon. How many times you couldn't wait to hear Rush's program, to hear what Rush was going to say about the news of the day, because you knew that, well, Rush was right. And because Rush, for me, made me realize who I was, made me realize as a conservative that that's exactly who I was. He was speaking my language. He was articulating and saying all the things in my head that I couldn't say myself. And not only that, but validated everything I was thinking in my heart, in my mind, in my soul. It was that kind of power that Rush had, and how he was able to do, like I said, nobody. And everybody would admit that. And so I would love to hear from you this morning, 239-479-5592. Like I said, we'll play some of the audio of just amazing clips of Rush from the past and some of the things you may have forgot about. The president, Trump, talking last night on Hannity. We'll get to that audio as well. And certainly his wife, Kathryn, who opened up the program yesterday with the words that nobody wanted to hear. And how part of what she said in her message is going to be so important as we move forward without Rush. It's hard to even say and believe that that's the case, but how, and when you hear, and here's the other thing that I'm really excited to play coming up, and it's this. That when you hear Rush back in the 80s and the 90s, remember 1988, the first time the show goes national, and then in the 90s, 1994, when he's speaking to the freshman class in 1994, House freshmen, getting ready to do something that hadn't been done in 40 some odd years, in 1994, Newt Gingrich, and coming in, and now you have the House in control of, Republicans have control of the House, and it's a new day. And when you hear the words that he has to say, it resonates right now. It resonates right this minute. And knowing that the best thing that we could all do is to be fearless, to speak fearlessly, to speak truth to people who will do whatever they can to try to diminish you and your values, your conservative values that have existed in this country. There's more of us than there are of them, period. Just because a legacy media, an old school broken media, tells us that they're the ones that are right and in control and there's more of them, doesn't make it so. All right, so let's go to your calls, 239-479-5592, and we'll start with John in L.A. John, you have some thoughts on Rush Limbaugh this morning.
Yes, hi, Drew. Good morning. I'm kind of really sad. I don't know if you can hear me.
John, before we go, John, can you do me a favor? If you're on speakerphone, can you take me off of speaker because it's really loud in your car? Is that possible?
I'm gonna turn off the car. It's a Bluetooth and kind of the car. I don't know how to do that. I'm driving.
Yeah.
Anyways, can you hear me now?
I hear you a little better. Maybe you've turned the air conditioning down. Might be good. Go ahead.
Hello. I do.
There you go.
I came to this country 30 years ago, and someone told me that if I want to learn the language, if I want to learn English, I had to listen to this guy. And at first, I couldn't understand anything he was saying because it was a new language for me. But then after a while, not only then I learned the language, but also I learned to become a conservative. And 30 years ago, it's like I owe almost everything I got and everything I had in this country, my prosperity, to him. Okay? For the last 15 years, then I moved to Florida. I listened to him like faithful every single day from 12 to 3 in my office.
Yeah.
So, and to me, it's like even people that think I'm smart, it's thanks to Rush, because I was able to argue, I was able to talk, I was able to kind of clarify my point, because what he always told me, exactly what you were saying, everything that he thought, when he talked, is that what I thought? That's what I always agree with. Like, my God, this guy, then that's the way it should be. And everything else, I always agree with Rush.
Yeah.
I love him so much.
Yeah.
He's like my hero in this country.
Yeah.
Like Donald Trump, I am.
Yeah.
The only two guys that I always wanted to meet in this life was Rush and Trump. And now one is gone. But anyway, I still have hope that one day I can be able to meet Rush and Trump.
Well, John, listen, I appreciate the call in L.A., and thank you so much. And, I think that's an important part is that when John says, learning the language and then listening to Rush and then becoming a conservative, I don't think that John became a conservative. I think his values were always conservative. And I think when you have someone like Rush that you can listen to that can articulate what you are feeling, but you can't articulate it yourself or you're not sure, he validates exactly who you've always been. That was what to me made Rush so amazing. Fred's in Cape Coral. Hey, Fred.
Hey, Drew. Thanks for taking my call. Yeah, I was it was a gut punch yesterday when I heard the news, and we all knew it was coming. But I started listening to Rush, I guess, as soon as he became nationally syndicated back in the late '80s. I'm 54 now, but I grew up in a very conservative household, and my parents were very skeptical and actually very vocal about a lot of the curriculum that was being taught in the local schools, and they were challenging the school board back in the late 70s, early 80s, about some of the stuff that was being taught, sex education and whatnot. And I tell you, to grow up in a small school district, when your parents were the ones challenging the school board, it was kind of a lonely place sometimes because people didn't understand, what they were talking about, and then Rush came along. And like you said, he validated what we were all thinking at the time. And I think that's what the left just completely misses, and a perfect example of how they underestimate people in general. They think that Rush indoctrinated people and told them how to think. And they said the same things about Donald Trump. These people came along as a response and an answer to how people were feeling, and they were a voice that people didn't have. And that's why he resonated. You don't stay on the radio for 3 hours a day for over 30 years if you're not speaking the truth to millions of people every day. So it's a huge blow. He's going to be criticized because of, typical. They go after the messenger when they can't attack the message, and that's what the left is great at.
Yeah, Fred, and I'll and while I have you on, I'll say these two things. Number one, I love how the Rush. Do you remember Rush Rooms?
Absolutely.
Yes, Rush brought us together with a common a purpose and a common ideology, and We didn't even know and realize we had it. To your point, I grew up in a very conservative house, but I didn't realize it. Like, I didn't know it always was. And I thought that's always what life was about, and my values and the things that I knew in my soul, in my spirit, my faith that I knew. You know, when some people say your gut reaction, to me, that's the Holy Spirit speaking to me. That is my spirit, my faith, and that is something that I couldn't explain to people until I hear Rush, and then Rush is articulating a lot of the things and the beliefs that I have, not only as a conservative, but in my faith, and certainly being able to explain some of the things politically that I needed more explanation on, but to be able to do it at a level where I could suck it up and just absorb it and get it, and nobody could do that, and that meant it was always there. And so to have people that can do that and say the things that you're feeling but you can't articulate, is remarkable. And to your point, yeah, that's why somebody could talk for 3 hours a day and do it for 30 years and still be at the top, period, end discussion. Nobody even comes close to Rush, and nobody ever will. And the second thing, too, is that I think that when we look at who's out there now, Fred, and you've probably witnessed this yourself just in the past 12 hours, the filth, the disgusting, horrible, horrific left in this country who demanded, and didn't even have to because we're better people than this, who demanded that when Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed, demanded that nobody would say anything about her politically and just talk about how brilliant and awesome and to be respectful, which we did and we continue to do. And we did that from the beginning because that's who we are. The respect that you would give, you might have a difference in opinion politically, but the respect that you would have on social media and the like, you certainly, if anything, save those battles for another day. But in the moment, the respect that we gave because of who we are, the left didn't do it. And if you watched video or you watched or looked at any social media in the past 12 hours, and I hope that you wouldn't, that you would see the kind of things that they say about Rush right now, and even to this moment, is despicable. It's horrible. Shows who they are, Fred.
0 point in getting online and trying to figure out what the left has to say.
Right. You are so right. And you don't do it. You don't. Nobody gets to define. And that's another strong point. And Fred, thank you for the call. And thank you for your thoughts and memories of Rush as we're talking about Rush this morning and the passing of Rush. That's one name, when you speak of Rush, you know how he has affected you as Rush babies, or even recently, and like we have discussed the things that you never knew about yourself and only come to realize it because Rush was able to articulate what was in your heart and in your mind. But one other thing that Rush has presented to us today on a day like today is this: not going to give them the time of day. Not going to give the left the time of day, and they are certainly not going to define who Rush is and was and who we are. It's not going to happen. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it today. They're not going to do it tomorrow. They're not going to do it. And again, to speak fearlessly, to speak now with what Rush has been able to set us up with for 30 years, and to go boldly. Let's go to Moose. Moose is in Cape Coral. Hey, Moose.
Hey, morning, Ted. Morning. It's like we lost our favorite uncle on the radio. The last couple of callers there, the guy who came to this country, I was explaining to my wife last night, who's from Brazil, the same thing. His voice was so easy to listen to that you could not only learn English, you could learn everything.
Yeah.
But two things, and then I'll go real quick, is, the people that are criticizing Rush, and it's just the beginning, they never listen to him.
Right.
God knows how tough it was for him to be on the air for 3 hours, but, to find time to listen to him for 3 hours, you'll find that most people that did listen to Rush and still will listen to his show or what have you. They were doing something for 3 hours called work. It's a job. You have to turn on the radio listening to something, and most of us that are out there, that's how we got indoctrinated to Rush. When I first heard his voice, it scared me because I thought it was one of my old girlfriend's dads. The voice was so distinctive. I grew up listening to Larry King, and Larry was so rude. Here comes Rush.
Yeah.
He was even nicer to liberals. You had to listen to him.
Yeah.
And nobody ever listened to him. Nobody ever listened to him that listened to him all the time. Just didn't fall in love with him. And that's it. I'm going to miss him. He was my favorite uncle. You're my favorite step cousin. So anyway.
Step cousin. Thanks, Moose. We love you. 239-479-5592. Listen, I'm going to spend the morning talking about Rush with you, playing some clips of some of my favorite clips and some that I found of Rush from the past that we forget about, the TV show and other places. We'll play the president's audio from last night on Hannity and his thoughts as well. And to Moose's point, before we go to break, and Colin and David and Steve, stay on the line. There's an open line right now if you want to join in the conversation. We're going to get to your calls coming up after the break. But Tammy Bruce put something out yesterday, tweeted out something that, again, what Moose was talking about and how spot on Moose is about Rush and about how people feel about it. They've never listened to him. The people that hate Rush just hate the popularity. They hate the fact that we don't have a fairness doctrine right now to shut people down like Rush. That they hate the fact that liberals can't have radio talk shows that are successful because nobody wants to hear what they have to say. Tammy Bruce tweeted out yesterday, in the 90s, I was a host of a radio station in L.A., the same that aired Rush. I was president of L.A. Now and the liberal weekend host when he visited the station. He was so vilified by my then crowd, I expected a monster. Instead, I met a remarkable, kind, and encouraging man. He was gregarious and generous when we met. He shook my hand, and I was shocked that he was nice and genuinely curious about my radio work and activism. I realized I was going to have a fascinating conversation. She went on to talk about how Rush was not a monster. He wasn't evil. He did not mean people harm. He wasn't a bigot or any of the other smears lobbed against him by the leftist associates that she had. How many people out there listen to themselves and others in their tribe and never listen to Rush himself? And once they do, to Tammy Bruce's credit, admitting that once I met the man, he was nothing like what was described by the left. To Moose's point, spot on. 239-479-5592. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to get to more of your calls, play some audio for you as well as we pay tribute and remember Rush Limbaugh. That's what we're going to do this morning. I want to get your calls in and your thoughts, your memories. I have so many that we're going to get to this morning, and I'm looking forward to that. As we will talk together about Rush this morning on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. You can watch drewsteele.com. The website, Steele has 3 E's. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
This Fox News business report is presented by Sargent's Integrated Pest Solutions Incorporated, providing organic and botanical pest control solutions since 2011.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
The markets mixing it up at Wednesday's close. The Dow up 90 points. The S&P was about flat, but weakness in tech stocks had the Nasdaq down by 82. The government says total consumer debt rose about 1.5% in the last quarter of 2020. Households owed nearly $15 trillion at the end of the year. Krispy Kreme launching a limited edition treat to honor the historic Mars Perseverance mission.
Krispy Kreme will sell a Mars donut Thursday at participating locations to commemorate NASA's Perseverance rover landing. Meant to look like the red planet, it's filled with chocolate cream, dipped in icing with a red swirl and cookie crumbs on top. Krispy Kreme calls the mission an epic and important achievement. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jill Nato, invested in you.
President Biden says he will defeat the NRA, and now the NRA is fighting back. All this week, Newsmax TV's Stinchfield tells the real story about Biden and the NRA. Watch Stinchfield at 8 p.m. Eastern on Newsmax TV. It's on all major cable systems. Check your guide or call them. Tell them you want Newsmax. And download the free Newsmax app on your smartphone or smart TV and watch us now. 30 million Americans watch Newsmax. You could too.
The great voice on the right has been silenced.
I've learned what love really is during this.
92.5 Fox News remembers Rush Limbaugh.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/news. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This just in, Rockstar Harley needs used inventory, and they're giving 115% of Kelley Blue Book value when trading for a new Harley this week. Rockstar Harley has finance specialists on site to help get you approved. Whether good credit, bad credit, or no credit, they can help. And they trade anything, bikes, cars, RVs, and more because it's worth more at Rockstar Harley. If you owe way too much in your trade, get 115% of Kelley Blue Book trade value right now at Rockstar Harley. Adjustment for mileage and reconditioning and Sunday.
Trey Radel, your host of The Drive here. I want to talk to you about Cathedral Roofing Innovations. They are the tile roof experts right here in Southwest Florida. Now, they've got an important message for you for anybody at all who's had these 3 things happen. Listen up. If you answer yes to all 3, you got to call Cathedral Roofing Innovations today. Here we go. Number 1, did you file any roof damage claim to your insurance company in the last 3 years? Number 2, do you have a tile roof? And number 3, did your insurance company deny your claim or only pay for a small repair? Well, look, I know that thousands of you that are listening right now answered yes to these questions. Even if your claim was denied, there are still ways to get your new tile roof. Do not let the opportunity to increase the value of your home go by. In some cases, we're talking about $75,000 to $100,000. It's not too late. All you have to do is contact Cathedral Roofing Innovations. Go to cathedralroofingnaples.com to start increasing the value of your home now. That's cathedralroofingnaples.com.
Hi, I'm Tyler McDaniel.
And I'm Brad McDaniel.
We're the second generation of Kenmark Air.
Along with our father, Ken McDaniel, we're celebrating 25 years of service in Southwest Florida. For the next 25 days, we're offering $25 service calls, $25 maintenance, and 25% off high-quality Maytag systems.
For our 25th anniversary specials, call Kenmark Air, 239-437-7040. That's 437-7040.
And online at kenmarkair.com.
License number CAC 057163.
Heard the good news about COVID-19 vaccines? They're here. But you can do more than wait for your turn. See, you have the power to help slow the spread. Actually, you could be a real difference maker and protect your family and loved ones, too. Here's how. Watch your distance. Stay at least 6 feet away from folks you don't live with. And it's risky to be indoors with them, too, no matter how far apart you are. And, of course, avoid crowds. Also, wear a mask. CDC reports that masks protect both the person wearing them and the folks around them from particles that carry the virus. And wash your hands, using soap and water for 20 seconds, and do it frequently. Watch your distance, wear a mask, and wash your hands. Simple, effective, and along with vaccines, they're how you can make a big difference.
Learn more about vaccines at cdc.gov/coronavirus. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Wink News traffic.
Traffic is slowing down in Fort Myers on Ortiz heading northbound towards MLK Boulevard. To avoid this, just stick to the interstate. It's fully up to speed north of Colonial. Also, there is a crash that happened at the intersection of Fowler and Kathryn that is still shutting down Fowler heading southbound. This was a hit-and-run crash. If you are heading south of Edison towards Hanson, the best thing you can do is take Central, Jackson, even US 41 to avoid it. Slowdowns in Cape Coral and North Cape on Embers to the west of Chiquita. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Patchy fog possible for your Thursday morning, but get ready for a warm, breezy forecast for your Thursday with a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Few stray showers possible, but overall pretty limited. Most are dry. Then into tomorrow, another breezy day as a cold front approaches, and that is going to be bringing in scattered areas of rain and even a few storms. Now, once the front clears, we're cooler, we're drier into the weekend. Actually, Saturday morning, lows in the 40s and 50s, highs in the lower 70s, and a good amount of sunshine throughout the weekend. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
When your liberal relatives from up north come for a month, turn up 92.5 Fox News in the house, in the car, and on the radio at the beach. 92.5 Fox News. Run all along.
After a car accident, you can feel like you've lost control. I'm Glenn Levine from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. Our team can help you understand your legal options after an accident. We will file your claim and fight for the full compensation you deserve. If you've been involved in a car accident, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Offices Fort Myers and Naples.
Ever purchased an online item and either it doesn't fit, has missing parts, or became damaged? Trying to save a few bucks can end up costing more. My Shower Door is a locally owned and operated family business that measures, manufactures, and installs our own brand of frameless shower doors right here in Southwest Florida. And we were just named Lee County's Manufacturer of the Year. With almost 80,000 shower doors installed, we have the experience and expertise. Plus, estimates are always free. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdoor.com.
It's Fred Kobe with your Kobe Cooling Tip of the Day. I'd like to tell you that I'm the best AC mechanic in my company, but I'd be lying to you. I think my NATE certified mechanic team hides my tools from me so I don't hurt myself. You see, I'm the old guy, and I've been doing this work since I was a kid with my dad. Our younger staff are really the best mechanics in this business, and they've been through years of training and years of testing, with continuing education to keep up to date on the latest and greatest things in the air conditioning world. All companies brag about their experience, and we certainly have that, but we're most proud of our team being on the cutting edge and the leaders in technology and application of the modern air conditioning equipment. That's why we've been voted best air conditioning company in Southwest Florida year after year in the news press polls. It's not me, it's the best team of NATE certified mechanics ever assembled. Call 239-482-1542 and experience the best. License CACO 57313.
Are you looking for the perfect spot for your retirement? Just add water. Shell Point Retirement Community is located in Fort Myers on the Caloosahatchee River, just minutes from the Gulf of Mexico and Sanibel Island. Enjoy a vibrant waterfront lifestyle with miles of walking and bike trails. For boaters, there's a private marina with free boat docks to keep your boat right at home. Or join your friends on the community boat for cruises to local restaurants and beaches. Shell Point is comprised of 7 neighborhoods with scenic water views. Life slows down on the water as residents enjoy kayaking through hundreds of acres of secluded bird-filled waterways. To learn more about waterfront living at Shell Point, schedule a private appointment or attend one of our weekly group seminars, which include a tour of the community. Call 239-466-1131 or go online to shellpoint.org. Enjoy waterfront living today. It's all here at Shell Point.
Good morning, Southwest Florida. I'm Alan with Sargent's Integrated Pest Solutions. My 6 years of service to my country taught me a lot about integrity, trust, and getting the job done and getting it done right. I have integrated much of my Army training into the business. And I mean integrated. I'm actually standing here recording in my fatigues. I understand that it may seem that there are more pest control companies than bugs, but our company is very different. A lot of pest control companies are what we call spray jockeys. You see bugs and they just come and spray. You see more bugs, so they spray more. My team's approach consists of understanding what's causing the bugs to come in. Sometimes it's something as simple as caulking or patching holes. Spraying is not always the answer. If you're tired of the spray jockeys and want real pest control solutions, call us, Sargent's Integrated Pest Solutions, today at 595-4867. That's 595-4867. Now serving Marco, Naples, Bonita, and Estero.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News. Now, back to Daybreak with Drew Steele.
Well, it was an idea that we had that a lot of people suggested to me, frankly, a lot of great people of our country, largely Republicans. It was an amazing night because the Republicans went wild and the Democrats sat there, but they all respected Rush. And I think it was, one of the great honors of his life, Presidential Medal of Freedom. It's a big deal. And he was very honored by it, and he was a great gentleman. Just like Mark said, I listened to Mark, and, Mark is so terrific. But, he said he's special, and Rush was really special. He was a very special guy. And you said irreplaceable, and it's true. He's irreplaceable.
That was the former president of the United States, Donald Trump, on with Sean Hannity last night, remembering radio legend Rush Limbaugh, who passed away yesterday at the age of 70. And his wife, Kathryn, announcing at the beginning of the program his passing. We'll play that later on this morning. And certainly once we heard her voice, I think a lot of people knew what was coming next. And, I wanted to spend the morning with you talking about your memories, your thoughts about Rush Limbaugh. I think it's important that we talk about it because there will never be another Rush Limbaugh. There will never be another Rush. And we all know it. And I would love to hear from you this morning, 239-479-5592. We're going to get to your calls coming up. We'll play more audio from the former President Trump talking about his memories of Rush, some things that I didn't know. I had no idea that he didn't know or never met Rush before he talked about and came down the escalator and talked about running for president of the United States. Some interesting little tidbits there from last night. We could play a little bit of that on Hannity's program as he was describing a little bit more about Rush and his feelings of him on the radio. And
radio's big stuff, and he made it that way. He was the king. And by the way, congratulations, because I looked at some numbers. You do real well on radio. But you would be the first one to say, and, he was there first, and he was a brilliant guy.
Brilliant, and that is true. And, as good as we may do on this station, this broadcast, Sean Hannity, Mark Levin, or anybody else can never touch Rush. In content, in just growing up how many of you were a Rush baby? And maybe even for those that are listening, if you are a Rush baby, what that means. You can describe what that means to you, being a Rush baby and growing up. And how many times we talk about there being one single president of the United States for 8 years, and how you have someone who is maybe 8, 9, 10 years old, and right up until the time that they're 18, 19, 20, the only president that they know and the only administration that they're aware of, and the only thing that they hear from media is about that specific person. Maybe it's Barack Obama, and how you had Obama babies being, you're talking about young people who grew up only knowing Obama as the president of the United States, and the influence that would have on these young people and what they would believe about the world around them. And then take that now and multiply that by 30 years of individuals, us, you, growing up as Rush babies, growing up as individuals who had an opportunity to hear Rush and who were able to finally have that confirmation of what you and your soul and your spirit and your heart and your mind have always believed. And finally, there was a big voice on the right that was articulating the things you were thinking. 239-479-5592. We'll go to some calls right now. Colin's in Naples. Hey, Colin.
Hey, good morning, Drew. Yeah, I would consider myself a Rush baby. I probably pretty typical 88, 89. You only had AM in my work van that I was working out of, and I searched for something to listen to, and there was Rush. And every day since that first day, I would go searching for him, and that was the beginning of it.
Yeah.
But I tell you, Drew, the main thing about Rush was that he knew the left better than anybody else in the whole world, that safely to say.
Yeah.
And to give you a perfect example, I don't know, Jake might want to research, but when was the McDonald's coffee incident? Because when that happened, after that, or ever since that, Rush had put on there and spoke about it, and basically he said, "Get ready, folks. Here it comes.
Yeah.
Your sugar's going to be attacked, and any sweets or any, the left was the beginning of the end for us as far as the left coming out and trying to push their."
Yeah, Jake's looking it up right now. He said it was with 1992. Is that what you said, Jake? Is that when that was? Wait, I'm waiting for Jake to put the mic up. Oh, he's got a problem with his mic. There he is.
That's correct.
That's 1992. Yeah. And Colin, another thing that I can bring up that I thought was funny at the time, something that I remember, there was even a caller on Rush's program back in 2013 who brought this up as well, and how well that Rush knew the left and their tactics and the things that they did. And it drove them crazy to hear him articulate it in ways that would be funny on his TV program. And I'll give you a little bit of this. And Colin, just listen on the air. And thanks for the call. I appreciate it as always. 239-479-5592, because I wanted to play this clip. I was going to bring this up later in the program, as this morning we're talking about Rush Limbaugh and his passing, and not only how I wanted to take your phone calls and hear from you, but also celebrating a life that changed so many lives, and mine included. And I'll tell you a little bit about my story with remembering Rush, and I'll get to that in just a second. But Colin brought this up about the incident in McDonald's, the 1992 incident. Now, I don't know that one specifically, I have to admit, but Jake will look that up. But this was one that I remember, and I was going to play the clip, and then it pertains to what Colin is talking about. So back in Rush's TV day, and when it comes to issues like at the time in the 90s, there was a ribbon for everything. And I don't know if you remember this. So they used to have these colored ribbons, and the left wanted to have a ribbon for everything. And if you wore that ribbon, then you showed that you actually cared. I think there was a red ribbon for HIV. There was a yellow one for this and a blue ribbon for that. That's the way he was describing it on his show to a caller who was bringing this up. And what the left was trying to tell you is that you've got to wear this ribbon. And if you do, you're better than everybody else. And here's what Rush said on his TV program back then that, again, drives the left crazy. This was driving them crazy at the time. Listen to this.
Because I'm wearing these ribbons, I care more than any of you about anything. And these ribbons say so. I want you people sitting at home and you people in the audience, look down at your lapel right now. I want you to do this. Put the camera back on me. Do this.
He's looking down.
When you look down, what do you see? You don't see anything because you're not wearing any ribbons. It means you're a bigot. It means you're a racist. It means you're a sexist. It means you're a homophobe. It probably means you're a white guy. It probably means you're a European. And you alone are responsible for all the ills of America. But I'm not, because I'm wearing these ribbons. I care more than you.
I care more than you. It drove them crazy to hear that. I care more than you because I'm wearing these ribbons. Because the left tells me if I wear a ribbon, then I care more than you. And so all of these different colored ribbons. So he had a whole lapel filled with colored ribbons. And then that same time, he came up with the idea that there should be a deficit reduction awareness ribbon. And it was a dollar bill that was folded a certain way. And he gave instructions on how to fold it up. And people were wearing it. Even people in Congress, congressmen were wearing it, this folded up bill to show that they cared. Because, look, if you want to play that game, and that's what Rush did so well. He was able to not only articulate what the left was trying to do, but have fun doing it, making that point, and driving the left crazy at a time when you couldn't do that. No. This was just after, what was it? Was it 87? What year was it? Right. The 1987. It wasn't too many years after Ronald Reagan scraps the fairness doctrine. You know, the fairness doctrine. We got to have a balance out there on the airwaves. And, if something's controversial, well, hold on a second. You got controversial claims. We're going to have to counter that. Remember all that? And yet with all of that, the left couldn't survive the way they did in radio. It was no way because they couldn't compete with Rush. People didn't want to hear it. But to that point, Colin, that's one thing that I wanted to play and have you check out. We've got more clips like that, just amazing clips from Rush as we talk about him this morning. Now, this is Carrie. Carrie is my friend. She is 12, and I had a chance to see her over at Seed to Table a few weeks back. Remember, every first Friday, we do our first Fridays at Seed to Table, and 12 years old. And do you have a thought about Rush?
Yeah. So I've been listening to him since I was born, and my grandmother, she actually collected all of the Limbaugh letters. I mean, there are books of them, and I just think it's really bad what happened because he was one of the voices, a really strong voice that people listen to, and yeah.
Yeah. Well, you have all of those Limbaugh letters you can continue to read, and certainly all the time you had, is it the whole family had a chance to listen, right? The whole family would get your mom and everybody listening together? Because it's how many of you, Carrie?
So in my immediate family, there's my mom and my dad, and then there's 5 kids.
Yeah.
But when I was first born, we lived with my grandmother and my grandfather, so it was a really small house full of a lot of people.
Yeah, and a lot of love and a lot of Rush, and that's an awesome thing. And so as you now are getting older, you start to realize more of how Rush had an influence on you, and certainly your mom and dad and your grandma, right? And and how awesome Rush was, and you keep those memories with you, you know.
My mom actually told me that she started crying when his wife was talking.
Yeah, it was pretty emotional, you know, those moments that. What was that?
That was Emily. She was talking.
That's okay. Emily wants to get in too. She wants to be on. Okay, no, that's awesome. Hi, Emily. Hi. Okay, Carrie, tell Emily we got to go, okay? We're going to run because I'm looking at the clock and Jake is waving me off because if I don't go to a commercial right now, he's going to be really mad. And then
that's fine.
Okay, I have to blame Emily, and that would be bad because we don't want to do that because it's Jake's fault. It's not my fault. It's Jake's fault, okay?
All right.
All right, I'll see you soon,
right.
Okay?
Bye-bye.
Okay, there she goes. 239-479-5592. George, Walrus, David, we've got all of your calls coming up this morning as we remember Rush Limbaugh. Yesterday, hearing the news that he passed, but boy, celebrating a life, so much to celebrate, so much to talk about, so many memories that I want to hear from you about this morning. More clips, more amazing clips, memories and clips that maybe we forget about, and certainly the audio of of the former President Trump, and others will play for you coming up on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
92.5 Fox News salutes the greatest radio personality of all time.
Wait, did I say team? I didn't mean that. That's what the media does.
Rest in peace, Rush. From 92.5 Fox News. I cannot tell you how awesome it is when my family comes over and I say, you're going to get great tasting water straight from your faucet. I'm telling you, it's great on your skin, your hair, and your appliances. Think of what your water's doing now. Well, you should call now for your free multi-point Pentair water test. And I'm telling you, you're going to love the way your water tastes with your new Pentair water system. Every faucet in your house, it's the coolest thing ever. And there's a big difference when you call a Pentair water specialist. When you give Max a call at Pentair, trained, uniformed experts in our city and well water. That's a big deal, right? With their mobile showroom, you're wondering what you're going to get. A wide range of water treatment options, and you can see them in front of you. They install your new Pentair water system for you, and the big news right now is Pentair has a new Easy Flow under-counter filtration system. It is certified to reduce 99% of lead. Call now for your free water test, and right now save 15% on your whole home water system like I have in my house. With Pentair, never any sales pressure, so call them, 239-880-7799, or book online at PelicanWestFL.com.
I love being a bartender. I love waiting tables. But at the end of my shift, my feet were killing me. And so I had to pretend like I was having a good time, and really, I couldn't wait to sit down. But it wasn't just my feet, it was also my knees were achy. A lot of neck pain, too. I was in so much pain, I kind of lost hope, really. And then I saw the Good Feet store, and that's when everything changed.
For over 20 years, we've helped people like Kristen enjoy their work again without their feet getting in the way.
It was pretty shocking to realize that I'd been in so much pain, and suddenly I'm completely pain-free. Now that I have the Good Feet arch supports, I don't have to pretend to be happy. I'm genuinely happy. So, cheers. My name is Kristen, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Call 552-FEET or visit us in Naples or our newest store in Fort Myers.
Come have an exciting offshore fishing adventure and maybe even hook up aboard the Blind Date. Blind Date Charters offers backwaters to offshore fishing and more. Whether you target tarpon, grouper, or snapper, the trip won't disappoint. Captain Tom Katz will provide a first-class experience that'll leave you with memories that last a lifetime. Call Blind Date Charters at 239-810-2473. That's 239-810-2473.
I'm John Morgan. All law firms are not the same. As America's largest personal injury firm, we have more trials, more lawyers, more office buildings, and more caring staff members than any other injury law firm in the world. There's really nothing else like it. Our reputation and results speak for themselves. With more than 2 million people just like you calling us every single year, your trust in us means the world to me. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Dial pound law on your cell.
Offices, Fort Myers and Naples.
Hi, I'm Keith, the owner of Storm Shield Windows and Doors in North Fort Myers. And when it comes to hurricane windows and doors, you have two choices, Storm Shield and all the rest. Here's what our client Lauren had to say.
I work from home, so my home is also my office. And when I'm working, especially since my office is in the back room, I get all of the daytime sunshine. When I'm sitting in my office, I can tell the heat of the day is coming in because it's coming in through my old windows. So one of the benefits I experience directly, day in and day out, is having cooler temperatures in my room as a result of getting Storm Shield windows. My old windows, the heat came in, the room got hot, my air conditioning continued to work harder, and now we don't have any of that.
Storm Shield's windows and doors reduce the exterior noise by up to 80%, and our clients typically see an average energy savings of 40%. Why choose Storm Shield? Because everyone deserves the best. Call us today at 239-491-7002 or visit stormshieldSWFL.com.
Your new home is calling you to live the good life starting now.
River Hall is where it all starts. A true paradise. River Hall is one of the Gulf Coast's most exclusive master-planned communities, where country club living meets the casual, barefoot Florida lifestyle. River Hall's Davis Love III Championship Golf Course is one of the top-rated courses in the Gulf Coast area, and you'll love River Hall's private oasis pools, bike paths, fitness center, tennis and bocce courts, and more. Live large with homes priced from just the 500s to the 800s from Pulte. The Pulte collection of breezy open floor plans offers something for every lifestyle, with upscale finishes and features designed for elegant, gracious living. Here's to finally finding the perfect place. Here's to home. River Hall is just 20 minutes east of Fort Myers in the River Shores District. Come see model homes now. Visit liveriverhall.com. That's liveriverhall.com. This
is 92.5 Fox News. 92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 7 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
It would be another big change in immigration policy. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, but this one doesn't come in a President Biden executive order. His administration has Congress working up a big new plan. Fox's Tanya J. Powers details it live.
Dave, the Biden administration's new immigration plan offers an 8-year path to citizenship in the U.S. It would immediately give green cards to farm workers, those with temporary protected status, and those who arrived in the U.S. illegally as children. For others living in the U.S. as of January 1st of this year, it lays out a 5-year plan to temporary legal status, including background checks. The bill to be introduced in Congress includes more resources for judges and support to tackle the backlog of asylum cases. It does not include enhanced border security, Dave.
Tanya, for the 6th day in a row, the number of new coronavirus cases in the U.S. was under 100,000, 10 of the last 11 days. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo under more scrutiny over nursing home deaths in this COVID crisis.
The Albany Times is reporting that federal agents as well as the U.S. Attorney's Office in Brooklyn are opening the investigation. This comes as the governor's office releases the full transcript of a 2-hour Zoom meeting. It was between state lawmakers and top aide Melissa DeRosa. Now, during that meeting, she acknowledged Cuomo withheld data requested by lawmakers, saying we weren't sure if what we were going to give to the Department of Justice or what we give to you guys, what we start saying was going to be used against us.
Fox's Ashley Strohmeyer. From Oregon to Texas and beyond, millions of Americans are still without power and heat.
Generators are a lifeline, but can be deadly. Carbon monoxide calls are up all across the state as people run them in enclosed spaces or try to burn whatever they can to stay warm.
Fox's Casey Stiegel in Dallas. Another issue for millions in Texas. They're told to boil water at home now before using it. And more snow and ice is coming today from Texas to the Carolinas to Massachusetts. America's listening to Fox News.
This update is presented by Lee Auto Group. Find your perfect vehicle at lee-cars.com.
Wink News traffic.
Congestion in Bonita Springs on Bonita Beach Road, heading west to US 41. Also slowdowns on Estero Parkway if you're heading east of Three Oaks to Ben Hill. We're just packed on I-75, but no crashes as of right now. We are still up to speed. If you are in Fort Myers, seeing a slowdown, of course, on Daniels Parkway, heading west to the interstate, as well as on Andrea Lane if you're heading to 41. The Trip to the Minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Patchy fog possible for your Thursday morning, but get ready for a warm, breezy forecast for your Thursday with a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Few stray showers possible, but overall pretty limited. Most are dry. Then into tomorrow, another breezy day as a cold front approaches, and that is going to be bringing in scattered areas of rain and even a few storms. Now, once the front clears, we're cooler, we're drier into the weekend. Actually, Saturday morning, lows in the 40s and 50s, highs in the lower 70s, and a good amount of sunshine throughout the weekend. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
92.5 Fox News, honoring Rush Limbaugh.
It never fails. I leave, and all hell breaks loose.
Rest in peace, Rush. From 92.5 Fox News.
Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We sell more low-mileage cars and trucks than anyone in Southwest Florida because we have more. Over 300 vehicles in stock with locations in Fort Myers and Tampa. See for yourself at lee-cars.com.
Lee Auto Group is looking for quality pre-owned vehicles. Let them make your buying or selling experience easy and safe. Contact Lee Auto Group at 239-288-7374 or visit lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash.
I was asked the other day if I could explain romance. Hi, it's Joseph Edison. I pondered that for a few moments. Wow, I'm not sure. Romance, it's a mystery, like the deep blue sea. Romance is when somebody makes more time to spend with their sweetie, and we help people do that. Closet Factory's master designers can make time for more date nights, and better organization clears the mind, giving you and your sweetie time to better concentrate on each other. Ah, romance.
Come have an exciting offshore fishing adventure and maybe even hook up aboard the Blind Date. Blind Date Charters offers backwaters to offshore fishing and more. Whether you target tarpon, grouper, or snapper, the trip won't disappoint. Captain Tom Katz will provide a first-class experience that'll leave you with memories that last a lifetime. Call Blind Date Charters at 239-810-2473. That's 239-810-2473.
Happy Valentine's sale. This is Marty.
Chevy buyers are kissing your deals goodbye, Marty.
No, they're not.
Yeah, everybody's hooking up with Victory Lane Chevrolet.
Okay,
it's like a marriage made in Detroit.
I think they're made in Warren, Michigan.
Okay, wherever. Point is, Victory Lane Chevy has fantastic deals during their Sweetheart Savings Event. 500 to choose. It's love at first sight, Marty.
Hey, stop, would you?
Everybody finds their perfect match.
Just stop.
On hundreds of Victory Lane Silverados and Equinoxes. That's plural for Equinox, right?
Who knows?
Or is it Equini? During Victory Lane Chevrolet's Sweetheart Savings Event, fall in love with a new Chevy today. Kiss your old trade goodbye. And say hello to new 2021 Chevy Silverados, just $375 a month with zero down. New 2021 Traverse, just $389 a month, zero down. And you'll never be brokenhearted with our goal of 100% credit approvals. We'll see you at Victory Lane Chevrolet. Online, victorylanechevrolet.com. Find new roads. Stock number SC1148 and E1006. 39-month lease, 10K miles per year. Taxes and fees extra. All rebates to dealer. Offers for current lessees with approved credit and do not combine. Expires 2/28.
Hey, good morning, everybody. They're on drewsteele.com at the website or on YouTube or on Facebook. Hey, could you do me a favor? I would love for you to continue, and I see some of you already have. If you wouldn't mind commenting or putting in the reactions and comments on YouTube or Facebook, wherever you are, some of your thoughts, memories about Rush Limbaugh, because coming up I want to read some of them off of your comments and reactions feed. So if you wouldn't mind putting some more up there, there are some brilliant ones up here that I'm going to get to. So if you wouldn't mind putting your thoughts about Rush this morning, I would love to read them on the air. So if you would mind doing that right now. All right, thanks so much.
I'm a contractor, and I trust Rock Solid.
I trust Rock Solid.
I trust Rock Solid.
Whether you're a homeowner or a contractor who wants the finest countertops, choose Rock Solid, a company you can trust.
Rock Solid in the Pink Building, 2240 JNC Boulevard, Naples. Rock Solid. We don't stop at just countertops.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. I am so glad you're joining us today, this morning. 239-479-5592. That is the talk and text line, and I hope that you will use it this morning to give us a call. Maybe if you're watching at drewsteele.com, Steele with 3 E's, there at the website. Mobile friendly on your phone, on your smart device. You're taking it with you, maybe heading off to work or wherever you're going this morning. Certainly at YouTube and at Facebook at Drew Steele Radio. And I want to read some of the comments that are coming in this morning on our YouTube and Facebook page. Also wanted to read on the text line what's coming in this morning, as I wanted to spend this morning with you to remember Rush Limbaugh. There will never, ever be another Rush. Rush passing away yesterday at the age of 70. It was quite the gut punch for us hearing the news yesterday, and you know, the memories that we all have, whether you're a Rush baby or whether you were watching the TV show or whether it was just taking the time to spend to listen to Rush and to realize, like we did in my family and certainly me personally, that Rush not only was able to validate, was able to express the things that we were feeling in our heart and our mind, and we couldn't do it, but to hear him on a national level with the kind of numbers that he had of people listening each and every day. when you talk about the millions of people that listen and the amount of radio stations out there, and you realize for 30 years to be able to do it, to be able to be at the top of his game for 30 years. And what is it, 20 million, maybe more, 30 million, maybe a week listening, 650 radio stations. You don't do that 3 hours a day, just talking 3 hours a day every day, unless it resonates. And the way I think it resonated for so many, and again, love to hear from you, is that realizing what you've always known and felt in conservatism, and some of the calls we've been getting this morning of individuals who are describing about growing up with Rush and listening, and John in L.A. describing this morning about coming to this country and not being able to speak English very well, but listening to Rush and then realizing that he was a conservative. And I think to his point, that's what Rush did for a lot of us, was made us realize and validate who we are and how many of us there really are in this country. And how Rush had said it time and time again that we outnumber them for a broken old school legacy media that's out there that continues to, even to this moment, this morning, I was complaining to Jake. Jake was like, I got to go get a coffee. I'm screaming at Jake and watching, right? You were like, can I go get my coffee now because I have to stop? I wasn't yelling. No, I understand where you're coming from. Well, like we talked about earlier this morning, and I didn't want to go this way, but I'm going to get to your calls in a second, 239-479-5592. But first thing this morning, we were talking about how, and Jake was talking about the horrible things that he was seeing on social media, on Twitter. Immediately. Awful, horrendous things. Things that were hashtags and things that were up on Twitter and memes and some of the most vile, awful things that we are told never happened on the left, that they are so tolerant, and the unity that everybody demands that we have. And when Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed away, someone who the left revered, and all the things that she was able to accomplish, how did we react? We didn't react the way they did at all, because that's who we are. And that's who they are. And I don't even want to talk about in more detail about some of those things. I don't even want to read any of those things because they don't get to define who Rush was or you are at all. And so I do want to read some of the texts and some of the messages coming through at drewsteele.com, Steele with 3 E's, and some of the texts here as well, and then get to your calls. The vice president, former vice president Mike Pence, who had said this on the House floor many, many years ago and articulated it again yesterday on the passing of Rush, and how it was Rush Limbaugh, the reason why he, well, you listen to him.
I was inspired to go into conservative talk radio in the 1990s because of Rush Limbaugh. And I scarcely believe that I would have had the opportunities to serve in the Congress, to serve the people of Indiana as governor, or to serve as your vice president without the life, the example, the encouragement, and ultimately the friendship of Rush Limbaugh. So our hearts are heavy today. Our prayers are with his family and the millions of Americans who like us loved and cherished Rush Limbaugh.
That was the former vice president yesterday on Fox News talking about the passing of Rush Limbaugh. And you think of 1988, goes national, and right from there, from the get-go, listening to a radio program like you've never heard before, articulating a message that has been in your heart and your soul like nobody else could. Rush Rooms, how many people remember Rush Rooms and getting together to talk about Rush? And that doesn't happen every day. So I wanted to read some of the thoughts that people had. Joe Childs was saying that he was stationed in Japan back in the 80s, and when we had signed a petition to get Rush Limbaugh on the Armed Forces Network, and they finally did it, elated, and listened to the program from the flight line to the office. Rush ruled the Air Force Base. That's awesome. And some others talking about CVG during short commutes would listen to Rush. So glad when they retired, to be able to listen to his entire show, looked forward every day to hear his wisdom. And, you think about that as well, the fact that people listening to this program on their way to work, at work, didn't want to miss it. You always thought to yourself, I have to hear what Rush has to say about this big news story, because that's where you would go to know how to look at some of the things that you were thinking about, you weren't sure about, but to be confirmed, or even to hear Rush's wisdom like nobody else could deliver. Talent on loan from God. That's right. All the great phrases coming to you with half his brain tied behind his back. Love the way he shook his papers before he read something to us. Yep, like he would say, yep, you better believe it. And just some of the little nuances that he would bring forward that nobody else could pull off. Yeah, somebody texted, Rush was trolling the Democrats 25 years before trolling was even a thing. It's true. And to the text's point, I'm going to play some audio of Rush trolling the left. I'm going to play some audio that you may remember, you may not, of an important time in our history and what he said to a freshman House of Representatives coming in 1994 with a victory that, when you hear what he said to them, resonates today. Some amazing audio. We're going to get to that in just a second. But your calls right now, 239-479-5592. As we remember Rush Limbaugh this morning. Listen, the news isn't going anywhere, everybody. So there'll be time for that later on in the afternoon. But right now, I think we come together to talk and remember Rush Limbaugh. George is in Naples. Hey, George. Is George there? Oh, there he is. Hey, George.
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yes, I do. Good morning.
Good morning. I was in college in the early 90s, and I remember my roommate, who was with the college Republicans at the time, came running in and said, turn the radio on. You got to listen to this guy. He's hilarious. And we would sit around the radio and laugh hysterically when he would come up with his funny updates and
song parodies. Like,
yep. Una Paloma Blanca or Born Free. And we would just laugh hysterically. And it was his sense of humor that drew us in first, and then we would listen to his content second. But it was hilarious, and he just had a way to draw you in with his sense of humor, and I've never forgotten it. And I just can't believe he's gone.
Yeah, it is hard to believe, George. Thank you for that memory. 239-479-5592, and that was a huge part, and everybody knew it, and it drove the left crazy. It still drives the left crazy to this day. And you can tell how the left truly feels when you just let them open up to social media and you see some of the horrible things that they're saying, but drives the left crazy. When Rush could use his humor and the song parodies and the different clips that he would use and the way he would present it, and even on the TV show, which was brilliant. The TV show was brilliant, ahead of its time. It was. And how in all of that, you would walk away from the program understanding more about things that maybe would be dull in conversation, but to make it now something that you could understand, if it was deficits or taxes or some of the things that you would think, how are you going to explain this in an entertaining way and bring me in and bring young people in, Rush babies growing up on Rush and still being able to listen, and then taking the time out of their day, their busy work schedule, to make sure that they tune in. Who could do that? Well, Rush could do that. Walrus is in Fort Myers. Hey, Walrus, how are you this morning?
Sad. But I do have some great memories of Rush. And the show you were talking about earlier with the ribbons.
Yeah.
do you remember on that particular show, he had one of the ribbons was a folded up, I think it was $1,000 bill.
Yeah, that was
he had made into a ribbon, and he said, this is a deficit spending awareness ribbon, and the bigger the bill you use, the more you care about deficit spending.
Yeah.
So no one's going to care more than me because I've got a $1,000 bill, and know how hard these are to find.
Yep.
Because you can't find a $1,000 bill anywhere.
Yeah, and so and let me replay that for those that missed it earlier. So I was bringing up that Rush had this hilarious moment and very articulate for the day, and again even today, and making the point about the hypocrisy of the left and what they do and how they want you to believe and how they thumb their nose up at you because you're never as good as they are, you're never as bold as they are, you're never as caring as they are, you can't be. And at the time, in the 90s, there was a moment where everything had a ribbon. So he was describing about how there was a ribbon for a red ribbon for HIV, and then there was a yellow ribbon for this, and it was a blue ribbon for that. And there were all these different colored ribbons. And if you wore the ribbon, then it showed everybody how much you cared. You just cared more than everybody else. And so this was the audio that I played earlier.
Because I'm wearing these ribbons, I care more than any of you about anything. And these ribbons say so. I want you people sitting at home and you people in the audience, look down at your lapel right now. I want you to do this. Put the camera back on me. Do this.
And he's looking down at a lapel that's got like a gajillion ribbons all over the place, right?
When you look down, what do you see? You don't see anything because you're not wearing any ribbons. It means you're a bigot. It means you're a racist. It means you're a sexist. It means you're a homophobe. It probably means you're a white guy. It probably means you're a European. And you alone are responsible for all the ills of America. But I'm not, because I'm wearing these ribbons.
Because he's wearing the ribbons. And then two, he cares more than you do. That's it, because he's got the ribbons, right? And he's got every color of every ribbon, so he cares infinitely more than you do. And then he did, like you were talking about, he showed everybody how to fold up a bill to make it look like one of those ribbons. And then there were people in Congress that were doing it. It was called the Deficit Reduction Awareness Ribbon, and that's the one that you were talking about.
Yeah, it's hard to fathom all the great things that came from his show.
Yep. Yeah, you can't even describe. There's so many. Listen, we've got to run. Walrus, I appreciate the call. 239-479-5592. I'm going to take one more call before. Is that okay, Jake? Just one more call? We'll take one more call before we go to break. 239-479-5592 this morning. We remember Rush passing away yesterday afternoon, and here you go. It's John in Fort Myers. John, your thoughts on Rush this morning?
Well, real quick, I just want to remember, I do remember that whole ribbon thing, and I've actually kind of used that a couple times. When you see the ribbons, magnets on people's cars, breast cancer awareness, it's like, you didn't give any money to breast cancer awareness. You just bought a ribbon that shows you care. But anyway, I just wanted to mention, did you know Rush was featured in a Batman comic book once?
He was? I didn't know that.
During the Nightfall series where Bane broke Batman's back, Alfred was reading a book called The Way Things Should Be, and the author of that book was also shown in a talk show discussing all the Batman stuff going on in that particular series, and he was drawn to look just like Rush.
Is that right?
Yes.
I didn't know that. I'll have to. Jake's going to look that up right now, John.
All right.
I'll check that out. Thank you. Yeah, have a good morning as well. 239-479-5592. All right, when we come back, more comments and reactions on our DrewSteele.com website, on YouTube, on Facebook. A lot of people are sending messages on the comments and reaction side. Facebook, you just go to facebook.com/DrewSteeleRadio. You go to DrewSteele.com, Steele with 3 E's right there. You can also leave a comment on the website. A lot of people are texting. We're going to get to your calls as well. 239-479-5592 as we remember the legend, the one and only. There will never be another Rush Limbaugh. And so we are going to talk about him. We are going to remember him, and we are going to celebrate an amazing, amazing life this morning on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News. The antidote to the anti-conservatives. 92.5 Fox News.
Right. All along. At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. The electrical panel is the heart of your home's electrical system. Malfunctions can lead to hazards like fire or power outages, leaving your home at risk or in the dark altogether. So trust our teams at Mr. Sparky to get it done right and get it done safely. Call now for $200 off a panel replacement.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888. Sparky.
Limitations and restrictions may apply. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
Trust. It's not a concept. It's a commitment.
Reliable and honest every single day.
At Wink News, we're committed to reporting the news that matters for you.
Thank you for trusting Wink News. This is a big story.
And that affects you.
We're coming to you live.
Because if we're asking for your trust, we will continue our commitment to be trustworthy.
The reason people trust us is the people that work here.
With 6 decades in the community, trust Wink News. Weeknights at 6.
My 18-year-old daughter is out of control. She will push me, shove me, pull my hair. She's kicked me in the stomach.
Coming to Dr. Phil was a road trip from hell.
Dad, that's how our car ride's going!
Your mother says you split her head open with a cell phone. You said, oh, it's just an accident. Did you put these bruises on your mother?
No.
Did she put these bruises on you?
Yes.
Out of control rage.
You're calling me a liar, so...
Are you lying?
New Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil, today at 5 on WXCW.
This is State Representative Spencer Roach. Did you know that Florida has a part-time legislature that meets for 60 days each year at the state capitol in Tallahassee? There are 120 members of the Florida House and 40 members of the Florida Senate. The Florida Constitution requires that each member be at least 21 years old, a registered voter, and a resident of Florida 2 years prior to election. Our Constitution also requires the legislature to pass a balanced budget every year. In 1992, almost 80% of Florida voters approved term limits of 8 years for all legislators. The pay is set by statute at $29,697 per year. Lee County is represented by 4 House members and 3 state senators. And remember, they all work for you. Soon we'll be heading to Tallahassee for our 2021 legislative session, and I'll be doing weekly updates right here on 92.5 to keep you informed of all the work we're doing on your behalf. This is Spencer Roach. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned and stay engaged. Sponsored by Friends of Spencer Roach, P.O. Box 3179, North Fort Myers, Florida, 33918.
Imagine replacing your old kitchen with the kitchen of your dreams. Brand new custom-made cabinet doors. Drawer fronts, hand-finished by true craftsmen. Designer hardware, new hinges, and everything installed beautifully in less than a week, start to finish. Expensive? No. To the contrary, with refacing by Cornerstone, you'll save so much, we should really talk about your master bathroom too. Go for wow. Go for Cornerstone.
As we go through life, many times we try to plan and prepare for every possibility, thinking about our future, thinking about our families. But many times in life, we're hit by surprise. Sometimes great ones and sometimes terrible ones, even tragedies. I have found that most of our clients never thought about who they should call if they were injured. I wouldn't either. What's your plan? I hope you never need us, but if you do, know that we'll be there for you. There's only one Morgan & Morgan. Dial pound law on your cell.
Offices, Fort Myers and Naples.
I'm Harvey Massey. Think about this for a moment. Pest control involves applying pesticides inside your home, whether needed or not. At Massey Services, we just don't do that. We prevent pests from getting inside your home, so we won't have to control them later. Why settle for pest control when you can trust Massey's pest prevention? It's guaranteed or your money back. Massey Services. Expect more and get it.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. New South is Florida's factory direct window company. We manufacture, install, and guarantee your windows for life. One company, one call. Our replacement windows are made to better enhance the energy efficiency of your home and stand up to Florida weather. New South Window, home of the ultimate Florida window for you. Made in Florida, for Florida homes, by Florida workers. Because we know Florida weather.
Going on now. Buy 2 windows, get a third free. Call 1-800-NEW-WINDOWS.
Is your car a 2012 or newer with less than 120,000 miles on it? Would you rather be driving a brand new Nissan equipped with all the latest technology and safety features? Hey, Aaron Walker here from Naples Nissan. If your trade-in is a 2012 or newer, yes, a 2012 or newer with less than 120,000 miles on it, we'll give you the original base MSRP for it, so you can drive home in a brand new Nissan. Bring us that old Chevy, Honda, Toyota, Ford. We don't care where you bought it from. We don't care if you bought it new or used. Go to NaplesNissan.com. Pick out your favorite new Nissan model with Bluetooth, backup camera, and that new car smell. You can have it all today after we pay you what you paid for your trade-in. Don't wait. Get full details at NaplesNissan.com. Offers on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined.
Struggling with CPAP? Now there's Inspire, the only FDA-approved obstructive sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body to treat the root cause of sleep apnea with just the click of a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Visit InspireSleep.com to learn more.
Hey, this is Papa, reporting that we're still getting a lot of calls from homeowners who were told they needed a new re-roof after Irma. Most of these folks had a few broken tiles that are obsolete. Our company has 2 warehouses filled with the older obsolete tiles that have never been used. If you think that you may not need a new re-roof, but only need to replace some obsolete tile, please call me for our free tile roof inspection. We may be able to repair and seal your roof to make it look new and beautiful, a lot cheaper than replacing the entire roof. If you call me for our free inspection, we'll place you on a proactive list, and in the event of another hurricane, you won't have to go searching for a contractor because we will automatically call you to see if you need assistance. Let me show you how we can clean and seal and protect your roof, pavers, and pool decks. On behalf of my sons, Casey, Gary, and Cody, call us at 945-2700. That's 945-2700, area code 239-945-2700. We're open 24/7, and you can call us right now for a free tile roof inspection.
License number CCC 1326213.
This break is sponsored by Cornerstone Builders. Give us the opportunity to wow you.
Wink News traffic.
There's a crash at Gateway Boulevard and Fairway Lake, slowing traffic heading southbound on Gateway towards Daniels. Also a crash in Lehigh at Isabella Street and Columbus, slowing traffic northbound on Columbus, starting from Jaguar towards Milwaukee. Easy way to get around this, take Bell Boulevard. The Trip to the Minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Patchy fog possible for your Thursday morning, but get ready for a warm, breezy forecast for your Thursday with a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Few stray showers possible, but overall pretty limited. Most are dry. Then into tomorrow, another breezy day as a cold front approaches, and that is going to be bringing in scattered areas of rain and even a few storms. Now, once the front clears, we're cooler, we're drier into the weekend. Actually, Saturday morning, lows in the 40s and 50s, highs in the lower 70s, and a good amount of sunshine throughout the weekend. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Tougher than plastic, harder than wood. Nothing beats the power of steel. Drew Steel, weekday mornings at 6 on 92.5 Fox News.
Mason Classical Academy is excited to announce that they are under contract to purchase a high school campus site in North Naples. Conveniently located near I-75 and Immokalee Road, MCA seeks to open this college prep high school campus in the fall of 2021. Available tuition-free to all families, regardless of income or zip code. Mason Classical Academy's proven track record is in high demand, and this new North Naples High School campus will allow more students to receive the successful and proven model of education. The MCA North Naples campus is second to none, including fully equipped science labs, modern computer labs, and college-style classrooms. Instead of focusing on state testing, they teach students how to think, not what to think. And MCA education promotes patriotism and a true understanding of history. Do you crave such an education for your high schooler? If so, Mason Classical Academy is the answer. Learn the true, do the good, love the beautiful. Sign up to reserve a seat for your child by visiting masonacademy.com today.
This is Lois. At Wink News, we're on the phone. We're on the beat. We're on the scene.
We're working every angle. We're working for you.
From breaking news to the Weather Authority.
We are rainfall experts. More than 60 years of reporting excellence is a reputation earned. How do we do what we do?
Sorry, I can't talk right now. Sorry, I'm too busy.
We tell you how we're doing it.
Sorry, I'm on assignment right now. I'm on a deadline.
We weren't so busy doing it.
Getting it first, getting it right.
Trust Wink News. Weeknights at 6.
Next, Rachel.
You say jump, I say A, how high, and B, where and when, and
Get down with Drew Barrymore.
She made that, Rachel.
Then.
You then really notice
What's missing?
which is everything.
Yeah. A personal update from Rach and John about their home rebuild.
Good to see some bones.
And get stuffed on a cozy comfort meal.
It smells amazing in here.
Next, Rachel.
Rachel Ray, this morning at 11 on WXCW.
Happy Valentine's sale. This is Marty.
Chevy buyers are kissing your deals goodbye, Marty.
No, they're not.
Yeah, everybody's hooking up with Victory Lane Chevrolet.
Okay,
it's like a marriage made in Detroit.
I think they're made in Warren, Michigan.
Okay, wherever. Point is, Victory Lane Chevy has fantastic deals during their Sweetheart Savings event. 500 to choose. It's love at first sight, Marty.
Hey, stop, would you?
Everybody finds their perfect match.
Just stop.
On hundreds of Victory Lane Silverados and Equinoxes. That's plural for Equinox, right?
Who knows?
Or is it Equini? During Victory Lane Chevrolet's Sweetheart Savings event, fall in love with a new Chevy today. Kiss your old trade goodbye. And say hello to new 2021 Chevy Silverados, just $375 a month with zero down. New 2021 Traverse, just $389 a month, zero down. And you'll never be brokenhearted with our goal of 100% credit approvals. We'll see you at Victory Lane Chevrolet. Online, victorylanechevrolet.com. Find new roads. Stock number SC1148 and E1006. 39-month lease, 10K miles per year, taxes and fees extra. All rebates to dealer. Offers for current lessees with approved credit and do not combine. Expires 2/28/2021.
Welcome to Mezzanine Medical Spa, a new concept in wellness, combining beauty and science. Their mission is to provide the latest non-invasive cosmetic procedures. Mezzanine Medical Spa is the only provider in Fort Myers to offer M-Sculpt. Just one treatment is equivalent to 20,000 crunches or 20,000 lunges. Reserve a complimentary consultation online at mezzaminemedspa.com. Mezzamine means my friends. mezzaminemedspa.com.
What's that switch in your kitchen do?
Nothing. Flick it on, off, nothing happens.
Weird.
Now, if it would turn on the overhead fan, that would be cool. Can't get that to work either.
Frustrating.
You know, this is what's wrong with humanity. We think we got it all figured out, but we don't even know what the switch is supposed to do.
Dave.
Think we can build a spaceship that takes us to Mars when we can't even get a switch to work?
Hey, Dave.
I swear, we're never gonna leave this solar system. We'll be stuck on this planet forever until we all go extinct.
Dave, what's the best case scenario?
Best case? Well, I make a call, someone comes and connects that switch to something, like maybe that overhead fan.
That's best?
Well, sure, but...
That's best. Best Home Services. They have 4 electricians and 4 trucks right now waiting for your call. They'd have that switch looked after in no time.
Well, I feel a bit silly now.
GetBest.com. When something goes wrong, we're waiting.
So maybe
we can go to Mars.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. We stream live, drewsteele.com. The website, mobile friendly, and also smart device friendly, the website. You can go there and comment. This morning we are spending time talking about the passing of Rush Limbaugh, an icon, a legend, and how Rush, quite honestly, has affected all of our lives in some way, shape, or form. So many people are putting comments and messages on the drewsteele.com website, and I'm going to talk about some of those in just a second, and your memories. And I got to tell you a funny story, Jake, and so stay with me here in just a second. And also, if you want to call, we have a lot of people holding, Travis and Mike and David, and we've got an open line right now. If you want to call and comment on your memories on Rush, maybe a Rush baby that you are, maybe you remember the Rush rooms, maybe just how Rush has had such an influence on you and your life, and how many times we've talked about the fact that Rush was able to do something that no other person could do, not only the incredible broadcaster that he was, and it was really all about how he was able to articulate the things that we were feeling as conservatives at a time when we just couldn't do it ourselves, and we didn't have that big voice that was there to say really what we were thinking and feeling, and how many conservatives across the country there truly were and are. How many times he's brought that up, the fact that there are many more of us than them. And so we're going to play some audio. And I've got to play this clip and get to your calls as well in just a second. It's a great clip. 1994, the Republicans win back the House. First time in 40 years. It's a big moment. And the party's freshman class is sitting there, and in comes Rush Limbaugh. The place goes wild. And he has a few things to say. And it was Tom Brokaw at the time that was airing some of the clips and some of what he said. And you have to hear this, and I'm going to play the audio in just a second. It may be the first time you've ever heard this. And how not only does it resonate now, what he was saying, but just think about what was going on at the time. And man, I'm telling you, it is a clarion call for all of us. The things that he was talking about, and this idea that liberty, freedom, the pursuit of keeping this country great, and the Constitution and the rule of law and all of these things that now, thanks to Rush, that we have that voice to confidently move forward and to be able to articulate those values and ideas. So just a little story, because people have been asking me about my memories. I've had people ask me about if I've ever met Rush. I never met Rush. I never had a chance to talk to Rush, although, as you can imagine, like many people, I would have loved to. But my first memory, here you go, Jake, and you probably don't know anything. This is way before your time. As a millennial, way before your time. So, true story. The first time I ever heard Rush Limbaugh's name was back in 1986. And I had just moved here from New York. And if you remember, Terry Park was a place where spring training was taking place back in, since what, the 40s? I want to say that Terry Park, how long has it been? I guess since the 20s. Terry Park since the 20s, like from 1925 up to about 1987, was the place where you would have spring training. You had the Pittsburgh Pirates. You had the Cleveland Indians were here back in the 40s, and you had the Kansas City Royals that were here from 1969 to 1987. And true story, I moved here from New York. And I don't know a whole lot of people. I had some family members here, so I spent a lot of time with family. And a friend of one of the family members was saying that they needed somebody at Terry Park to do the announcing. You know, the announcing of the game? Like, ladies and gentlemen, number 25, blah, blah, blah. Right? You know, that kind of thing, okay? This is for the Kansas City Royals spring training. Now, Jake's laughing already. This is a true story. I've never done anything like that before. They just thought I could do it. Like, listen, you DJ, you do kinds of things. You can do this. It's no problem. Okay. So I go there. And while I'm there, even before I get started, I hear there were people talking in the booth where I am at Terry Park. And Rush Limbaugh's name came up because Rush used to work for the Kansas City Royals back in the 80s. I think it was in the early 80s, like in 1980, 81, 82, something like that. He worked for the Royals, for the Kansas City Royals, right? I think he was doing sales or something for them. And then he went to go work in radio in 83 in Kansas City, but then ultimately moves to Sacramento. I hope I'm getting all the timeline right. So Rush had a big buzz at that time because it was only a couple of years afterwards, and there were people that knew Rush there in Terry Park, you know, people who have dealt with him before, and you know, was so happy to see some of the radio success. And so his name came up. So the whole thing was, the funny part of the story is that I got my moment, and this is no joke. I'm holding my hand up. This is the honest truth. And they said, "You ready?" "I'm ready." "Go." Dude, I was frozen. I couldn't say one word. I didn't know what to say. I've never been, you ever hear when somebody's frozen and they don't know what to say, and there's that moment you're stepping up on stage and there's an audience and you have to sing or you have to say something and they say, "I froze." Dude, I froze. I was frozen. Had no idea what to say. And I looked to the guy next to me and he grabbed the mic and he did it for me because I couldn't talk. I was completely frozen. And needless to say, it took a second and I got what he was trying to, you know, like, all he wanted me to say was like, "Welcome to Terry Park." And it was in front of me. Like, I couldn't do it. Just couldn't do it. Needless to say, it was the last time I visited Terry Park in the 80s, and they never invited me back. But that's a true story. So that's the first time I heard about Rush. And then obviously, 80/80 goes national. And in the 90s, you had Rush rooms and people. I remember going to Beefsteak Charlie's. You don't remember Beefsteak Charlie's. You're too young to know where.
Never heard of
You've never heard of Beefsteak Charlie's. No. 239-479-5592. If you're somebody who's been here long enough in Southwest Florida, the two things that you know are Beefsteak Charlie's, which was right where the overpass is on Colonial, 41 and Colonial. I don't know what it is right now, but it's where the Burlington Coat Factory, whatever they call that, the shopping plaza that's 41 where the Colonial overpass
right by
is.
Hooters, yeah, I know.
Okay, right. Okay, so in that plaza at the building that's kind of closest to 41, man, this is going way back. That was Beefsteak Charlie's right there. And Hooters used to be a burger chef. Just putting that out there. Anyway, the point is, I remember the Rush rooms, and I think there was a Rush room in Beefsteak Charlie's, but I do remember sitting in a parking lot like somebody was just texting me. See, these are great memories. These are the kind of things we need to talk about. They were great memories. We're so sad to know that Rush is not here any longer, but boy, do we celebrate a life. And I remember being with a friend and them wanting to run in there, Beefsteak Charlie's, you threw the peanut shells on the floor and peel and eat shrimp all you can eat. But just like this person was saying, I remember my uncle, this was Jackie. Jackie was saying, I remember my uncle sat in his car in the driveway listening for hours, and I thought he was crazy. And years later, I found myself sitting in the car in Publix parking lot to sometimes an hour before I could finally peel myself away from listening to Rush. Nobody else could do that. Who does that? 239-479-5592. I'm going to get to that audio clip coming up. I've got to play this with the 1994 freshman when Rush shows up. But I want to get to these calls because I know a lot of folks have been holding. Travis has been holding patiently in Fort Myers. Thanks, Travis.
Hey, Drew. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Yeah.
My first memories of Rush Limbaugh, I was 22 years old. It's like 2013 or something. And it was the Ferguson riots. And I didn't know anything about politics, but I wanted to get more into it. So I'm like, I got to figure out what's going on here. That was the hot topic of the day. So I turned on NPR because that's all I knew at the time. And it was in their sophisticated, smart people voice that they carry over there. They were talking about butterflies being endangered or something in Oregon, and it was just, I split that scene. I was like, this isn't me. So I turned on 92.5, and it was Rush Limbaugh. And, I mean, for 7 years or 8 years straight, I mean, it's 3 to 5 days a week. I've been listening to him ever since, and he's inspired me in a lot of ways.
Yep.
We'll all miss him a lot. We really will.
No doubt. And probably you realized quickly that, like a lot of people, like me personally, that he was confirming everything you believed and who you were, and you just couldn't articulate it. And you finally had a voice that was saying the things that you believed in such an entertaining way. Could never be duplicated, never.
Yeah, the butterfly thing was silly, but it was true. But yeah, when you listen to him, it's just one thing I'll always carry with me is the ability to read the media or listen to the media and be able to break down, I guess, just the BS that comes along with a lot of it.
Right.
And just, I don't know.
I know.
A game changer is not the word. I think he made the game. So I don't know.
No, great.
It's just, we'll miss him big time.
Great point. All right, my friend. Thanks so much for the call. Mike's out on Marco. He's been holding patiently as well. Mike?
Drew, you know what? I'm glad to say that I have not read one negative thing since Rush left us. You know why? Because I don't sign up to the Twitter garbage.
Good for you.
So, yeah, and I'm just not going to, because I know what those pigs are saying. You know, each day for the past two weeks and a day, I would at noon I'm upset now. I would listen for Rush, and when I heard Kathryn come on yesterday, as we all did, we all knew that was it. I thought, man, I hope he did not suffer. I hope he was on hospice or something. You know, it's like losing a big brother. You know, I think that, in the late 80s, I was a Navy corpsman, or as Barack would say, corpsman. And I had gone home on leave. It was probably in 89. And my dad said, hey, man, you got to listen to this guy on the radio. And I got hooked. And it's been a fun journey with Rush. The thing that struck me the most, though, was when Bush II was in office, and he had gone into the Gulf War, and there was this civilian kid who had gone over there, and he got captured, and on the radio you hear this poor kid getting his head severed. And the kid's father the next day said, I blame Bush for my son's death. And I was like, what do you dude, how can you blame Bush? I'm sorry, your son made a bad decision. And Rush said to me, it felt like, he goes, no, don't be upset at the dad. The dad gets a pass. And when Rush said that, that struck me in lots of different levels because it showed me his compassion.
Yep.
Rush isn't a father, but here he is saying something that's just so powerful. And from that memory struck me more than anything about Rush is his compassion. So that's all I got to say.
Well, I appreciate the call. Thanks so much, Mike and Marco. And, 2 points. Number one, the last point that he was making, I can tell you that the people that know him personally over and over again talked about how compassionate he was, thoughtful, not quiet, but you don't want to say quiet or shy, but certainly low key, surprising to many, and just incredibly thoughtful and just a wonderful human being. And the people, the pukes that are talking right now on social media, that's about the toughest word I use to you. And those that say the most horrible and horrific and vile things about and continue to do it about Rush, never probably listen to him a minute out of a day and don't know anything about him. Don't have a clue. That's why you ignore them. Because you don't let other people define who you are or who Rush was. Like Debbie said in Cape Coral, Rush was my best friend, the one I never met, but was always there hearing what I was feeling. And for a lot of people, that's true. That's how Rush affected so many in that very way. Let's see, is this Rick?
Yeah, that's me.
Hey, good morning.
Can you hear me all right?
I hear you fine.
Okay, good. Well, anyway, Rush was never boring. Never. There was never a moment, and I've been listening to him. I went to one of his Rush to Excellent tours.
Oh, wow.
And that was way back when.
Yep.
And, he Christmas of 2 years ago, I called in, and he gave me a phone. And, I'm probably the only one in Fort Myers that has a Rush phone. And
wait, so he gave you like an iPhone?
Yeah, an i10. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I got the paperwork and stuff for it, and I may auction it off, for a cause. But he was compassionate. He showed everybody, and he gave everybody, and he gave them his ear, and they listened, and he listened to them, and he would respond, and you would get different, how people interpret stuff, but he just knew what they were thinking and how they thought, and he would make clarity of their question, and everybody just got it, And one quick story, I've talked to him a few times, but one quick story. I called him, and this is right before he came out with the Operation Chaos. And so I called in, and I said, Rush, when are you going to come out with the Operation Chaos T-shirts? And he thought that Bo Snerdley, set me up to say that. And he didn't. And he was just like perplexed, and it was just funny. It was funny.
Yeah, I wish I would have been able to have a phone call and talk to you. No doubt, a special moment, and certainly again, the fact that when you call Rush, and I think for so many people too, when they call Rush, it's like talking to somebody that they know. So you don't feel uncomfortable when he gets on the phone. It's like you talk to me every day, and so I get that impression. I don't know how it was for you, but
yeah, it was excellent. I mean, like I said, you went on, you weren't nervous because you're listening to him on the radio, and then he picks you up, and it's just like the conversation continues.
Yeah,
no
doubt.
It was awesome. Thanks.
All right, Rick, I appreciate you sharing your memories of Rush this morning, 239-479-5592. And, I wanted to play this one clip, and I don't know if we have enough time right now as I'm looking at we're running long today. That's okay. So maybe what I'll do is I'll wait until after we come back from break because I do want to play this audio. It's pretty incredible. And many of you may not have heard this audio yet. And it goes back to 1994. And I'll try to set this up again. 1994, if you remember, first time in 40 years, Republicans take the House. And what a big deal that was. It was a sea change in politics. And, Rush is at the heart of all of this. And it's Tom Brokaw who's reporting about the moment that Rush walks into the room where the party's freshman class is, who, by the way, made him an honorary member, and had some choice words for the freshmen. And man, if you don't listen to this audio coming up and think to yourself, current day, current time, and what a message that should never leave, there from 1994 and still relevant to this moment right now. And so would love to hear from you. I'm seeing a lot of messages, comments, and reactions on our YouTube and Facebook page, facebook.com/Drew Steele Radio, YouTube as well. And if you go to drewsteele.com, Steele with 3 E's, the website, you can go there as well to comment, and you can watch on your smart device, mobile device, and even on your computer. So we're going to take more of your calls this morning as we remember Rush. 239-479-5592. Would love to hear from you this morning and your thoughts. We're going to read some of the comments as well and reactions. The passing of an icon and a friend. Certainly someone we spent 3 hours a day, every day, for a very long time. And we miss Rush already. It's Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
You need a fast, reliable network. So get fast, reliable internet from Comcast Business and add advanced security with Comcast Business Security Edge. They have 24/7 support, it's fast internet, and advanced security made simple. Bounce forward with Comcast Business.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Flickering lights and hot switches can be annoying, but they can also signal a major problem, or worse, an electrical emergency. So play it safe and leave it to the experts at Mr. Sparky. We'll get it done right and get it done safely. Call now for $77 off any repair.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Limitations and restrictions may apply. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
Is foot pain making your life miserable? The Good Feet Store specializes in foot pain relief. Call 552-FEET or visit us at the Good Feet Store in Naples or our newest location in Fort Myers. Or stop in for a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet Store.
Tee off for a great day of golf at Coral Oaks Golf Course in Cape Coral. Enjoy excellent playing conditions, GPS golf carts, and a weekend special to play 18 holes for just $60 on Saturdays and Sundays after 11 a.m. Coral Oaks all-inclusive golf schools are also back for season with several sessions offered through April. Book tee times up to 7 days in advance at coraloaksgolf.com. We'll see you at Coral Oaks, where every day is a great day.
It starts with a call. With one call, you can start seeing your future more clearly. If your financial picture is cloudy because you're getting conflicting tax, investment, and estate planning advice, help is a call or a click away. Annex Wealth Management's team works to get your investment plan in line with your tax plan and your estate plan. Build confidence with one team working to create one comprehensive plan as a fee-only fiduciary. Annex Wealth Management. One team, one plan, one fee. AnnexWealth.com.
Are you looking for the perfect spot for your retirement? Just add water. Shell Point Retirement Community is located in Fort Myers on the Caloosahatchee River, just minutes from the Gulf of Mexico and Sanibel Island. Enjoy a vibrant waterfront lifestyle with miles of walking and bike trails. For boaters, there's a private marina with free boat docks to keep your boat right at home. Or join your friends on the community boat for cruises to local restaurants and beaches. Show Point is comprised of 7 neighborhoods with scenic water views. Life slows down on the water as residents enjoy kayaking through hundreds of acres of secluded bird-filled waterways. To learn more about waterfront living at Shell Point, schedule a private appointment or attend one of our weekly group seminars, which include a tour of the community. Call 239-466-1131 or go online to shellpoint.org. Enjoy waterfront living today. It's all here at Shell Point.
Most people that buy their own health insurance think once they have chosen their ACA plan during open enrollment, they're stuck for the year. This is simply not the case. You can change at any time, no problems. If you are fairly healthy and don't need mandated coverage like maternity, you can save 30 to 60% with Health Plan Network. Couples under 65 are saving $500 to $1,000 a month with better coverage. You owe it to yourself to see if you qualify for a better plan that can save you money with lower deductibles. Go to healthplannetwork.net to request a quote. That's healthplannetwork.net. Or call Tim Cooper, an expert with over 23 years experience, at 239-268-6712. That's 239-268-6712. Act now to see if you qualify to save 30 to 60%. healthplannetwork.net. Sensible solutions.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Tougher than plastic, harder than wood. Nothing beats the power of steel. Drew Steel, weekday mornings at 6 on 92.5 Fox News. 92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 8 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
He used to be in the national spotlight every day with his COVID updates. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Now, New York's Democratic Governor Andrew Cuomo is under growing scrutiny over nursing home deaths in this crisis. Fox's Evan Brown has the latest live.
Yeah, Dave, both the FBI and the U.S. Attorney from Brooklyn are now examining why New York Governor Andrew Cuomo and his aides directed nursing homes and long-term care facilities to take in COVID-positive patients, something critics say led to rapid spread of the virus to the elderly residents of those facilities and the deaths of thousands. Cuomo's order has been rescinded, but he's come under fire recently after a leaked recording showed his aide apologizing to fellow Democrats for the political fallout it caused. And one state legislator claims Cuomo threatened him for his public criticism, Dave.
Evan, President Biden has a new immigration plan, but not by executive order. He's behind legislation Democrats will propose in Congress offering a pathway to citizenship for millions of immigrants here illegally. But to avoid a filibuster, he would need some Republican support, and many of them don't like another policy Senator Bill Hagerty says endangers American communities.
The first wave of 25,000 asylum seekers who are forced to remain in Mexico under a Trump-era policy will begin to be let into the country tomorrow as Biden's executive order ending the Migrant Protection Protocols, or MPP, takes effect.
Fox's Griff Jenkins. It'll be snowy and icy again from Texas to the Carolinas to New England, while millions remain without power or heat, not just in Texas. Some haven't had it for a week in Oregon. His millions of listeners are sad they won't hear Rush Limbaugh anymore. The conservative talk radio icon died at age 70 after a battle with lung cancer. Many Republicans have paid tribute. Former President Trump telling Fox,
just a totally brilliant guy, and he could do things that a lot of people couldn't do. He could just talk for 3 hours, no phone calls, no anything, just talk. And everybody found it spellbinding.
America's listening to Fox News.
Wink News traffic.
Disabled vehicle on 75 is just off to the right of the highway as you're heading southbound, getting onto 75 from Alico. Also, a crash at Gateway and Fairway is slowing traffic heading southbound on Gateway Boulevard to the Daniels Extension, starting from around Griffin Drive. We're also very congested on Colonial Boulevard. Heading out of Lehigh Acres, the delay starts from Tree Line towards 6 Mile. And we're slow on that Midpoint Bridge heading out of Cape Coral. It is that time of morning. The best option to avoid it, of course, is the Cape Coral Bridge. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Patchy fog possible for your Thursday morning, but get ready for a warm, breezy forecast for your Thursday with a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Few stray showers possible, but overall pretty limited. Most are dry. Then into tomorrow, another breezy day as a cold front approaches, and that is going to be bringing in scattered areas of rain and even a few storms. Now, once the front clears, we're cooler, we're drier into the weekend. Actually, Saturday morning, lows in the 40s and 50s, highs in the lower 70s, and a good amount of sunshine throughout the weekend. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
92.5 Fox News, honoring Rush Limbaugh.
My point in all of this today is gratitude. My point in everything today that I share with you about this is to say thanks.
Rest in peace, Rush. From 92.5 Fox News.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. New South is the Florida window factory. Our windows are made in Florida, for Florida homes, by Florida workers, because we understand Florida weather. With New South Windows, you don't have to sacrifice energy efficiency for storm protection. Our Energy Star rated windows and doors are made with impact and non-impact options, giving you the best of both worlds. New South Window, home of your ultimate Florida window.
Going on now. For every 2 windows you buy, get the third free. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
Why wait for so-called one-time refund relief from big insurance companies when you can get the best prices and coverages all day, every day, all year round from Chapman Insurance Group? Hi, this is Brian Chapman, and my team is committed to finding you the most efficient coverage at the best rates. Give us an opportunity to quote your home, auto, business, or flood policy. I'm confident we can save you money for the same or better coverage. Visit CIGFlorida.com or call an office near you today. Naples, Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Port Charlotte, and Punta Gorda. CIGFlorida.com.
Hi, this is John Lawrence with CGU Homes, residential home builder in Southwest Florida. Born and raised right here in Naples and part of the building industry for over 2 decades, I've been fortunate enough to witness firsthand incredible growth within our community. Here at CGU Homes, we understand that a real estate investment in Southwest Florida is an investment into your future. Naples is booming, and with a limited inventory and an exceptional level of demand, now is the right time to build new or renovate your existing home. Our team at CGU Homes will make the building process enjoyable and seamless, from offering free pre-construction services to building genuine relationships that last a lifetime. We are proud of our reputation that is built on a foundation of trust and reliability. When you're ready to start your lifelong memories with a new build or a remodel of your existing home, please visit us online at cguhomes.com. That's cguhomes.com. And God bless the USA.
Hi, I'm Tyler McDaniel.
And I'm Brad McDaniel.
We're the second generation of Kenmark Air.
Along with our father, Ken McDaniel, we're celebrating 25 years of service in Southwest Florida. For the next 25 days, we're offering $25 service calls, $25 maintenance, and 25% off high-quality Maytag systems.
For our 25th anniversary specials, call Kenmark Air, 239-437-7040. That's 437-7040.
And online at kenmarkair.com. License number CAC 057163.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steve.
Hey, good morning, Southwest Florida. Great to have you here. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. We stream live. DrewSteele.com is the website. Drew Steele, S-T-E-E-L-E, Steele has 3 E's. You can comment and your reactions this morning. Also, YouTube and Facebook, facebook.com/Drew Steele Radio, as we all lost a friend yesterday. Rush Limbaugh, of course, Rush passing away at the age of 70, and such a gut punch to all of us. And I wanted to, listen, the news isn't going anywhere. For one day, we can get together and talk about our memories of Rush and certainly celebrating a life as well. Some of the audio that I'm going to play coming up, maybe the first time you've ever heard this. Some of it may be audio that you remember, but it's been so long since you've heard this. But really, I wanted to touch on this because there were moments when, back in the 90s, when you would hear Rush, and certainly we know, we all have the stories, and I love all of these stories that are coming in, and the lines are open, 239-479-5592 for your calls. That's what I want to do this morning. But how sitting in a car not being able to walk into a store or into your job because you couldn't wait to hear the next thing that Rush was going to say, knowing that if there was news of the day that you were confused about or what the left was doing now, and you just needed to have that coherent message of what you felt, but you just couldn't articulate yourself. That was Rush, and being able to listen to him each and every day, and Rush babies and how they have grown up, and the change that Rush had in so many ways that can't be denied. Congressman Byron Donalds is joining us right now, as he does each and every Thursday. And today, this particular day, I'd really like to focus on Rush and of course, his memory and certainly the influence that he has had on all of us. First of all, good morning. How are you, Byron?
Morning, Drew. How you doing? I'm doing good.
You know, I'm all right. We knew the day was coming. It was definitely a gut punch, and certainly so many memories. I can't wait to play some of this audio because some of it's funny, the way he delivered his message, the humor and the way he was able to do it, but also the things that he said that resonated not only then in the 80s and the 90s, but now. Talk a little bit about, your memories about Rush and listening and even, I mean, I guess you're a Rush baby, technically.
Yeah, technically I am. I started listening probably about the time I started caring about politics. Like, I heard of him. And, growing up as a kid, what you hear is, oh, he's controversial. He's a right-winger. He's this, he's that. But, if you actually take the time to listen to the show, and try to hear from Rush, what you hear is somebody who just deeply cared about the country, somebody who just wanted our Constitution to be the forerunner for how our government operates. But, I mean, did he add humor? Did he add comedy? Was he, did he talk tough and talk rough about the Dems? Of course he did. I mean, it's a radio show. You got 3 hours of programming. You just can't read it like NPR every day and think you're going to be successful.
Yeah.
But his contributions to the conservative movement are immeasurable.
Yeah. Yeah, the one thing that people were talking about, certainly the president, former President Trump mentioned it yesterday on Hannity's show last night. Look, 3 hours a day, every day, no guests, and having people riveted to their radios, to not even be able to walk into a business or go into a restaurant or whatever until they heard a commercial break. That doesn't happen unless not only do you have such a fantastic program in the way that you deliver the message, and maybe you can even speak to this, something that I mentioned, and it's how Rush was able to articulate what we were thinking and feeling that was with us all along. Like even your personal conservatism, Byron, you personally, how, for me, Rush was able to articulate that. And then you come to realize that that's who you've always been. And I wonder if that was something that happened to you as well, where it kind of confirmed something that you may not have known about yourself, that as a conservative, man, that's me. I'm listening to Rush and he's saying everything I'm thinking. It's kind of reinforcing my beliefs.
I totally agree with you on that. I think with him, he was the first that actually just talked straight and talked direct. Mm-hmm. And it really put, Republicans on notice, because what people normally feel about situations, he was expressing it directly, no filters, unabashed, and I think that's really was the genius, because he, in a lot of respects, he is the forerunner, the pioneer for what modern conservatism is today, about being unapologetic about your positions, about being consistent, about being able to stand against the media establishment and all that they might try to say and do about you, but still doing it anyway.
Yeah.
And if, that is something that we'll never be able to, really thank him for. It's just the reality of just what his contributions were, him as an individual, as a person, and what he's meant to the country.
Yeah. Congressman Byron Donalds joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, as we all together are remembering Rush Limbaugh, who passed away yesterday at the age of 70, and certainly hearing that news that you knew was coming someday, and you're never ready for it. A friend to so many, listening for so many years, decades. Like we talked about Rush rooms and Rush babies, but I want to play a clip, and I want you to comment on this because, again, this goes to the brilliance of the man, of Rush Limbaugh. And you could speak to this directly. This was from CPAC 2012. And just the first, I believe it's 30 seconds, 40 seconds. It's a longer clip, and I'll play the rest of it later on. But I want you to listen to this and comment because, man, this at the time as well was a powerful statement, knowing who was in the White House and some of the messaging from the left that was coming out about us, about conservatives, about Republicans. And here's Rush at CPAC 2012, and listen to this.
For those of you just tuning in on the Fox News channel or C-SPAN, I am Rush Limbaugh, and I want everyone in this room and every one of you around the country to succeed. I want anyone who believes in life, liberty, pursuit of happiness to succeed. And I want any force, any person, any element of an overarching big government that would stop your success. I want that organization, that element, or that person to fail. I want you to succeed.
Can you speak to that directly? Because how true is that? I mean, that is something that, again, where we were told at the time in 2012 by the left in this country that you are not allowed to say that Rush was not allowed to say that. It's not personal, but he says it so perfectly. If you love this country, you love conservatism, you love America and our values, you understand what makes this country great and how to have everybody lifted up by policies that work for everyone, then why is it so wrong to say, and how hard it is for you there in Congress, you're seeing it right now, how it is to say, look, your success does not mean the success of the country. I don't know if there's why is that so wrong to say?
It's from the media's perspective and the left, it's because they always want government control.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter what the crisis is. It doesn't matter what the situation is. They want government to be in charge, to set rules, to be empowered. And actually, they've been wanting to do this for so long to really favor their friends and favor their connections above the American people. And I would add, even in the Republican Party, and this is where, Rush has really brought conservatism into the renaissance it's at today, because you had the corporatist Republicans who were guilty of the same thing. And he would cause them just as many problems as he would cause the Democrats.
Yeah.
And I think that, when you really have a honest conversation about the original purpose of government, you don't want government to be successful. You want people to be successful.
Yeah.
Because government, by its nature, is going to desire its own contract, its own relationships, and all those different things, which are essential for it to grow and for it to thrive. And Rush didn't want that. You don't want that. I don't want that. We want people to thrive. We want people to grow.
Yeah. And I guess that's probably where I would, end the conversation with this. And I know how you feel about it. But again, I love that you're here and to be able to speak to this. Congressman Byron Donalds joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News as we remember Rush playing that clip. But again, it goes back to even the politics of the day. It's hard. It's got to be hard for you. You know that the left's policies are not going to be beneficial to, in a lot of ways, the safety, security, the future of this country, the benefits that we enjoy from the freedoms and liberty that we have enjoyed for since our founding and the framers, and how all of these attacks come from that side of the aisle. It's just true. It's fundamentally how they want to, if you want to go there, change everything. And so how do you do that? How do you, where you are now and listening to Rush's words and saying how, listen, I want you, Byron Donalds, Congressman, your values, I want you to succeed because I know that that's the success that this country needs in order to lift everybody up, not people in boxes, not people that are singled out and hyphenated. And no, I'm talking about every American. We're Americans. And then there's a side that he says that he wants to fail because the success of those values does not mean the success of the country. How do you maneuver there?
Honestly, you just got to stay tied to principle. I mean, we're seeing it right now with all the different things the Dems are trying to do with this iteration of the federal government. And you have to understand that when you really dig into their policies, you have a set of people who just say that this will help somebody. but they never take a chance to really understand the impacts it has on most people or everybody. And I think that's how you maneuver. I was with a member of Congress who's down here in the area on the other side of the aisle, called me, and I said, sure, I'll meet you. We had a pretty intense discussion on just politics and policy. But, I told him and his family, I think the difference is that you can't legislate for remote cases. And it's like a guiding principle for me is that you can't look at an issue that happens in our country and say, oh, my gosh, we have to do something about this so it can never happen again, because that's actually the instances where bad laws are passed, freedoms are taken or diluted or denuded, and that puts the federal government on this course that Rush definitely wanted to reverse throughout his entire career, and that we want to see reversed here in America today and going forward.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad that you had a few minutes to talk about this with us this morning. And, look, the news is not going anywhere. The stories are not going anywhere. The issues in Washington, D.C. are unfortunately in some ways not going anywhere. But certainly we want to hear from you again. We do this each and every Thursday. We spend time with you, and looking forward to when we can start to talk about what is happening there in D.C. But today, a day where we wanted to remember Rush and his impact certainly on conservative values, a conservative movement in this country. And I appreciate a few minutes to talk about that this morning. And we'll see you next week.
Thank you, Drew.
Right.
Have a great day. Okay?
All right. All the best. Thanks so much. 239-479-5592. Quickly just wanted to go to some calls. We can take one call here before we go to break. Wayne's in Naples. Wayne had a story he wanted to relay it to us about Rush this morning. Hey, Wayne.
Good morning, Drew. Sort of a two-part question thing. I was a chauffeur of one of these famous hotels in Naples, and I first heard him on the radio, and I thought I died going to heaven. So where did this guy come from? Yeah. And I never met him, but this is a story about his mother. She was in town speaking to a small group, and I happened to be there, and they raffled off a ticket, a tie that his mother, not his mother, but his wife at the time had made. She made these special ties, and I won a tie, and that still remains one of the prized possessions that I have.
Yeah, no doubt that, you think about how, what an impact that Rush had on so many lives, and how even when I play some of the audio that's coming up, it's really cool to hear some of Rush's words from the past that resonate, that continue to resonate, and gives us voice, right, Wayne? How important that is too. How often? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, well, you said earlier he was able to put into words what we were thinking.
Yeah,
and no one's ever before or since has been able to do it like he.
Yep, no doubt. Wayne, thank you for the call in Naples. I appreciate it. All right, we're going to get back to more of your calls, 239-479-5592, and your thoughts, comments, and reactions popping up from all over on our drewsteele.com website. So we're going to go there and read some of those comments and also get back to some of the audio of Rush. The former president, Donald Trump, had some comments last night on Hannity's program, as well as the former vice president and others as we talk this morning about the passing of our friend. Let's admit that it's our friend Rush Limbaugh. Certainly someone who will be missed. We'll talk more coming up with you on the way. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News with traffic. Here's Sabrina Katz.
Traffic is backed up on Colonial Boulevard, starting from Treeline, just on a creep and crawl all the way to the interstate. There's also delays on Colonial heading west of Veronica Shoemaker to Fowler, and a crash at Gateway and Fairway Lakes is still slowing traffic south on Gateway to Daniels Parkway. Unfortunately, the Midpoint Bridge is slammed even slower than usual this morning. All I can see is brake lights on my cams as you're heading into Fort Myers. If you want to avoid this, stick to that Cape Coral Bridge. The Trip to the Minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Patchy fog and humid for your Thursday morning, but by the afternoon, warm, breezy with a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Few stray showers are possible, but most are dry, with high temperatures very spring-like in the 80s. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
You don't have to feel distant. Come join the conversation.
I just want to say I love America because everyone gets a voice.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Right all along. Progressive presents an interview with your upstairs neighbor.
Hey, it's Rick from upstairs. Yeah, I take it seriously. When I play R&B at 1 in the morning, that's me saying, hey, I'm here for you. And I enjoy repetitive bass lines. I only use expired batteries in my smoke detectors. Nice, right? Yeah, upstairs neighbors help people forget their troubles. Give them something else to focus on. Ooh, want to see how high I can jump?
Progressive can't save you from your upstairs neighbor.
No, wait, let me try again.
But we can save you money when you bundle renters and auto insurance with us. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
Good morning, privates! Good morning, Drill Sergeant! I mean, seriously, what a pleasant morning. The sun is shining and the birds are chirping. You seem to be in a good mood today. Astute observation.
He's probably happy because he found out Honey Nut Cheerios can help lower cholesterol as part of a heart-healthy diet.
They're even shaped like hearts. So, in lieu of the obstacle course today, I propose a nice meditative nature walk. Does that sound delightful to everyone?
Yes, Drill Sergeant! Happy Heart Shapes are back for a limited time. Learn more about Honey Nut Cheerios by picking up a box at your local store.
Searching everywhere for great prices on appliances? No, you're not, because you have better things to do. Besides, Good Deals has it for less, and they have plenty of items in stock despite shortages everywhere else. Remember, Good Deals guarantees the lowest price on everything they sell. Find a lower price anywhere, and Jay will beat it, guaranteed. Visit one of the showrooms in Fort Myers, Naples, and Cape Coral, or shop online at gooddealsappliances.com.
Good Deals Appliances. Have we got a deal for you?
When you're running a business, you don't have time to worry about slow internet or confusing cybersecurity. So get fast, reliable internet from Comcast Business on the network that can deliver gig speeds to the most businesses. You can add the advanced security of Comcast Business Security Edge to help eliminate threats. And enjoy the peace of mind that comes with knowing 24/7 support is just a phone call away. It's internet and advanced security made simple, so you can bounce forward with Comcast Business. Help your business bounce forward with an amazing offer from Comcast Business. Get started with a powerful and reliable internet and voice solution for $35 each a month for 24 months for 2 years when you buy both. Plus, ask how to add Comcast Business Security Edge. Call 1-800-501-6000 today to find out more. Restrictions apply. Limited to new Comcast Business 35 megabits per second internet and one voice mobility customers. Early termination fee applies. Enrollment in EcoBill and AutoPay required. Security Edge available when added to Comcast Business Internet for additional monthly charge. Call for details.
Why would someone take a chance on purchasing a frameless shower door from a big box store or an online discounter of an obscure brand, and then try and find a licensed, qualified installer to put it in, when you can deal directly with a local, family-owned business that consults, measures, manufactures, and installs their own award-winning brand of shower doors? My Shower Door is a family-owned and operated business and has the highest ratings on Angie's List and Home Advisor. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdoor.com.
Pandemic, market drops, elections. Don't let the noise and fear distract you. Where do you go for clarity in uncertain times? For experienced advice on planning for retirement, tune in to Saving the Investor with Alfie Townsend, Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. or visit us at savingtheinvestor.com.
With the Diamond District, you get the best of both worlds. Jason and Todd are wholesale diamond brokers selling to the public and jewelry stores across the country at wholesale prices. The Diamond District is also a retail store that you can visit every day and see the largest selection of GIA and Forevermark loose certified diamonds.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News. Now, back to Daybreak with Drew Steele.
Realize how frustrating it is for me to have been so right for so long about everything that's happening.
I know that I am so good at this that I make it look easy. Many of you sitting at home think that you could do this too. You can't.
Just some clips from Rush's TV show. It's just, well, we are going to miss Rush. There is no doubt we are going to miss Rush. And we've got some audio, obviously top 5 audio clips of the day coming up. You can imagine will be filled with Rush clips today as we remember the passing. We remember our friend Rush Limbaugh and his passing, and I want to play some clips and really dig into some others, some that you may never have heard before, some that you have, but it's been so long to be reminded of these clips, and to really celebrate a life that changed our lives in so many ways. And so that's what we're going to do today. and take your calls. 239-479-5592. On the way.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
Get ready to save, used car buyers. It's the one and only Repo Joe sales event.
A massive selection of used car bargains are at Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers Used Car Mega Store through Sunday. Shop their complete inventory of over 200 trade-ins, auction purchases, lease terminations, and of course, repos. All you pay is $27 down, then make the payments posted on the windshield. Some just $89 a month. All trade-ins welcome, and we'll buy your car even if you don't buy one of ours.
Repo Joe here. No matter what your budget is or what vehicle you're looking for, the Repo Joe sale has it all. Our payments are clearly posted so it's easy to see your savings on the spot.
All it takes is $27 down, $89 a month, and you're driving home a vehicle. The Repo Joe sale has the selection and low used car prices you're looking for, so don't miss it.
Visit RepoJoe.com to find your bargain.
Don't miss the Repo Joe sale at the Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers Used Car Mega Store, just south of the Bell Tower Shops on Tamiami Trail.
Stock number 55976B. 2012 Ford Fusion. Selling price $6,100. 75 months. 3% APR. $27 down. Plus tax, title, and license. With approved credit. Subject to prior sale.
This is Lois. At Wink News, we're on the phone. We're on the beat. We're on the scene.
We're working every angle. We're working for you.
From breaking news to the Weather Authority.
We are rainfall experts. More than 60 years of reporting excellence is a reputation earned. How do we do what we do?
Sorry, I can't talk right now. Sorry, I'm too busy. We tell you how we're doing it.
Sorry, I'm on assignment right now. I'm on a deadline.
We weren't so busy doing it.
Getting it first. Getting it right.
Trust Wink News. Weeknights at 6.
On the next Drew Barrymore show.
Your new husband's not going anywhere, and your ex isn't going anywhere.
Stop running between them.
Garcelle Beauvais, advice for exes.
Do you still love him?
Plus, Kat Dennings dials us into WandaVision. You have, spoiler secrets.
Yeah.
All new Drew.
Drew, today at 3 on Wink.
It's Drew Steele visiting with my friend TJ, owner of the Floormeisters in Naples. And first of all, TJ, you know how much I love my Core-Tech, my home, my wife. When I bring people over, I kind of brag on the floor. Actually, they brag on it for me. They look and they see how beautiful it is. And the selection you have is amazing. Talk about it.
We have 100 colors of Core-Tech right now that we stock by the pallet, so I can sell it cheaper to you every day than anybody else around. We're getting in, I believe, 10 new colors for their entries for 2021. Usually we go out to Vegas and see it there, but with coronavirus, they brought it to me this time.
So you want to see it for yourself? Go to the Floormeisters. You're going to really love it. 6281 Naples Boulevard next to Costco. Give them a call. 239-596-4964. 239-596-4964. Or on the web at floormeisters.com.
Fox News, I'm Lillian Wu. President Biden's immigration plan, including a path to citizenship for millions, gets introduced today. Some would immediately get green cards.
Farm workers, those with temporary protected status, and those who arrived in the U.S. illegally as children. For others living in the U.S. as of January 1st of this year, it lays out a 5-year plan to temporary legal status, including background checks. The bill also includes more resources for judges and support to tackle the backlog of asylum cases, and would raise the current per-country cap for family and employment-based immigrant visas. It does not include enhanced border security.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers, the president's trip to a Michigan Pfizer facility rescheduled for tomorrow because of the weather, and first-time claims for jobless benefits for last week coming in well above expectations, 861,000. America's listening to Fox News.
This update is presented by Stevie Tomato Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Wink News traffic.
Traffic is backed up on Colonial Boulevard, starting from Treeline, just on a creep and crawl all the way to the interstate. There's also delays on Colonial heading west of Veronica Shoemaker to Fowler. And a crash at Gateway and Fairway Lakes is still slowing traffic south on Gateway to Daniels Parkway. Unfortunately, the Midpoint Bridge is slammed even slower than usual this morning. All I can see is brake lights on my cams as you're heading into Fort Myers. If you want to avoid this, stick to that Cape Coral Bridge. The Trip to the Minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Patchy fog possible for your Thursday morning, but get ready for a warm, breezy forecast for your Thursday with a mixture of sunshine and clouds. Few stray showers possible, but overall pretty limited. Most are dry. Then into tomorrow, another breezy day as a cold front approaches, and that is going to be bringing in scattered areas of rain and even a few storms. Now, once the front clears, we're cooler, we're drier into the weekend. Actually, Saturday morning, lows in the 40s and 50s, highs in the lower 70s, and a good amount of sunshine throughout the weekend. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
You don't have to feel distant. Come join the conversation.
We need to get back to the times when you could agree to disagree and help your neighbors.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
It's Big Al from Stevie Tomato's Sports Page. Do you feel American pride and want to shout, God bless America? As a son of immigrants who came through Ellis Island, I stand when the national anthem plays and get emotional thinking of those who have sacrificed for America's greatness. At Stevie's, we're filled with gratitude for our great customers and the country we live in. The firemen, police, emergency service, construction workers, and those who go about each day providing the foundation for our country. We love our customers and express our gratitude with our food, service, and value. Thankful for your dedication for what you do. And to all our great customers, show your love for this great country by going to any Stevie's. Stand at the bar and say loud and clear for all to hear, God bless America, and I'll buy you a 10-ounce beer. Restrictions apply in Cape Coral, Fort Myers, and Naples. God bless America.
Stevie Tomatoes, Sports Page. Come for the food. Stay for the sports.
Welcome to Mes-Amis Medical Spa, a new concept in wellness, combining beauty and science. Their mission is to provide the latest non-invasive cosmetic procedures. Mes-Amis Medical Spa is the only provider in Fort Myers to offer M-Sculpt. Just one treatment is equivalent to 20,000 crunches or 20,000 lunges. Reserve a complimentary consultation online at mesamismedspa.com. Mes-Amis means my friends. mesamismedspa.com.
Trust. It's the rock-solid foundation of Moran Wealth Management. Over 40 years ago, they began advising clients on ways to help meet their financial goals. 4 decades later, we've helped many reach their goals of providing for themselves, their families, and future generations. CEO Tom Moran has assembled an impressive team of professionals, each committed to the same core concept. Tom is recognized by Barron's as a Hall of Fame advisor. To be named a Hall of Fame advisor, the advisor has to have been ranked by Barron's consecutively for the last 10 years in any of their rankings. Let us earn your trust. Call 239-920-4440 or visit moranwm.com. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC, WFAFN, member SIPC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. New South is Florida's factory direct window company. We cut out the middleman and his markups because we manufacture, install, and guarantee your windows for life. Our new manufacturing facility has tomorrow's technology today to make sure your windows are built for Florida's extreme weather. Don't even think about buying windows from anyone else till you see what our factory can do for you. From our factory to your home. Now that's Factory Direct.
Going on now. Buy 2 windows, get a third free. Call 1-800-NEW-WINDOWS.
True relief for back and neck pain.
In my office, Johnston Spinal Care 596 Back, every day I talk with patients that for so many years just suffered with back or neck pain. Many just assuming that it was normal or something they had to live with. They'd tried injections, epidurals, or even surgery with no success, always looking for a chair to relieve pain or always dreading pain while sleeping or getting out of bed. It's time to treat the root of the problem. Please don't think there are no other options. You can overcome problems from sciatica, stenosis, neuropathy, bulging degenerative discs, or scoliosis. Non-surgical spinal decompression can change your life. Think of how much happier you'd be without pain. This Medicare-friendly treatment combines science and technology to offer a state-of-the-art, non-surgical procedure that is remarkably effective. We always offer a free telephone consultation and free x-rays to see if you're a candidate for spinal decompression. Johnston Spinal Care, we're here for you. Call 596-BACK, 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
239-479-5592. I want to get to your calls this morning as we make our way to the end of the program. We remember Rush Limbaugh today. Changed my life, changed our lives in so many different ways, and celebrating a life. Celebrating a life that we all got to share, be a part of together. I mean, you think Rush Babies, Rush Rooms, you think of Rush Limbaugh and the conservative movement in this country, and some audio that I'm going to play this morning. And then, most of all, I do want to hear from you. 239-479-5592, so we can share stories and our memories this morning. The news can wait. But I want to talk about Rush with you this morning. So let's play some clips, and then let's get to your calls. Once again, 239-479-5592. And look, this is in no particular order. I just wanted to play some clips and some of the ones that I heard in the past 24 hours that I wanted to share with you. The top 5 Rush audio clips of the day today. And there's so many. No particular order, and just all across the board. It's the 5 at 8:35.
Drew's Top 5 at 8:35 is brought to you by Moran Wealth Management. Isn't it time to review your portfolio options? Go to moranwm.com.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Number 5.
For those of you just tuning in on the Fox News Channel or C-SPAN, I am Rush Limbaugh, and I want everyone in this room and every one of you around the country to succeed. I want anyone who believes in life, liberty, pursuit of happiness to succeed. And I want any force, any person, any element of an overarching big government that would stop your success. I want that organization, that element, or that person to fail. I want you to succeed.
That was Rush at CPAC 2009, I believe it was, making the point of loving this country, conservatism, and understanding what is good for this country and what isn't good for this country. Conservative values, the values that we all have, is a good thing. To succeed, the people in the room, CPAC there, conservatives, to succeed, and those that would want to be the opposite, and those that would want to destroy the country and tear it down, to fail. Because that's how much Rush and we love the country.
Number 4.
I was inspired to go into conservative talk radio in the 1990s because of Rush Limbaugh, and I scarcely believe that I would have had the opportunities to serve in the Congress, to serve the people of Indiana as governor, or to serve as your vice president without the life, the example, the encouragement, and ultimately the friendship of Rush Limbaugh. So our hearts are heavy today. Our prayers are with his family and the millions of Americans who like us. Loved and cherished Rush Limbaugh.
The words of the former Vice President Mike Pence yesterday on Fox News talking about the passing of Rush and certainly how it affected his life. And he had mentioned that even early on, even in Congress, in the House, when he was there as a member, speaking directly and saying that, yes, it's because of Rush that he was able to be in Congress and then ultimately be the Vice President of the United States. That was the former Vice President there.
Number 3.
Radio's big stuff, and he made it that way. He was the king. And by the way, congratulations, because I looked at some numbers. You do real well on radio, but you would be the first one to say, and he was there first, and he was a brilliant guy. Just a totally brilliant guy, and he could do things that a lot of people couldn't do. He could just talk for 3 hours, no phone calls, no anything, just talk, and everybody found it spellbinding.
Spellbinding, it's true. That was the former president, Donald Trump, on with Hannity last night talking about the passing of Rush Limbaugh, and it's true. How many of you glued to the radio? How many of you in your car not able to walk into your job or even going shopping without hearing Rush's last words before break? Not many people can do that. Spellbinding, as the president put it, as he was talking about the passing of Rush last night.
Number 2.
And Rush, in recognition of all that you have done for our nation, the millions of people a day that you speak to and that you inspire, and all of the incredible work that you have done for charity, I am proud to announce tonight that you will be receiving our country's highest civilian honor, the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
And that moment not too long ago, Rush receiving the Presidential Medal of Freedom. And now it's true, the room erupted. Listen, and the Democrats in the room, they knew he deserved it. But that moment in time, again, what a great honor for Rush, and certainly one well-deserved.
Number 1.
I want to address something. I know that people are probably watching this who never have listened to my program and may not even really know what conservatism is. They think they do based on how they've been told, the way we've been impugned and maligned and so forth. One of the things that is totally erroneous about me, and I just want to get this up front, is that I'm pompous and that I am arrogant. Neither of these things are remotely true. I can tell you a joke to illustrate this. Larry King passed away, goes to heaven. He's greeted by St. Peter at the gates. St. Peter says, "Welcome, Mr. King. It's great to have you here. I want to show you around, give you an idea of what's here. Maybe you can pick a place that you'd like to reside." King says, "I just have one question. Is Rush Limbaugh here?" No. He's got a lot of time yet, Mr. King. No. So St. Peter begins the tour. Larry King sees the various places, and they're just beyond anything we can imagine in terms of beauty. Finally gets to the biggest room of all with this giant throne. And over the throne is a flashing, beautiful, angelic neon sign that says Rush Limbaugh. And Larry King looks at St. Peter and says, "I thought you said he wasn't here." He's not. This is God's room. He just thinks he's Rush Limbaugh.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had to end with that only because listen, when it comes to
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
So Rush had the most amazing sense of humor. Rush got it. He knew exactly who he was, which really wasn't pompous and really wasn't arrogant. And anybody who knew him personally knew that he wasn't any of those things. And yet there were those that wanted to pin that on him. And even now, as we see some of the messaging there on social media and the disgusting, vile things that the left says, that's what they do. That's not what we do. But they never listened to him. They never understood him. They never even cared to take a moment to find out more about Rush, the person, the talent, or even conservatism. 239-479-5592. All right, I do want to get to your calls because many of you want to comment on your thoughts on the passing of Rush Limbaugh and how in your life he has affected you. Ron in Estero. Ron, we'll start with you, Ron. You have memories of Rush.
I've actually had the pleasure to spend 4 hours with him. I work in the golf industry, and I was at a celebrity golf outing helping out being a caddy. Everyone was trying to pick this sports starter, trying to pick these guys. I said, I'll tell you what, I'll take Rush. And I went out and spent 4 hours with the guy. He was the nicest human being you ever met in your life. And to me, I have a thought on honoring him. With his show, as they've been having people substitute for on the Rush Limbaugh show, they should keep that title. Keep that title and, have all the guys sign. Everyone just do it as this is the Rush Limbaugh show today with Mark Stein.
So Ron, let me ask you this, Ron. Were you a fan of Rush's at the time? Did you not know who about Rush's program, or?
He was kind of newer, and I think I was at the point where I was still Clinton-esque type of person. So Bill Clinton was cool. So maybe I was slightly, standoffish with him when I first met him. But first time he got in trouble and needed a club, and I was there for him, and we started talking as humans. It was unbelievable. hey, Russ, this caddy's like Tony Robbins. And I turned to him and I said, hey, Tony Robbins is a bang. It was funny.
Wow. All right. Well, Ron, I appreciate that. And again, probably speaks to what we were just talking about. People having an opinion of Rush that didn't know anything about him, never listened to the program, never took a minute to even find out what conservatism and our values are all about. And then ultimately meeting Rush personally and finding out nothing like he had been described. It was Tammy Bruce that had a tweet out yesterday. In the 90s, she was a host of a talk radio program in L.A., the same that aired Rush, and she was the president of L.A. Now, National Organization of Women, and the liberal weekend host. Rush visits the station, so vilified by her then crowd, she expected a monster and instead met a remarkable, kind, and encouraging man. He wasn't a monster. He wasn't evil. He did not mean people harm. He wasn't a bigot or any of the smears lobbed against him by the left. Once she got to know him and meet him, she realized it was quite the opposite. Pretty amazing. Gabriel's in Fort Myers. Good morning, Gabriel.
Hey, good morning. I just wanted to take a moment to really thank Rush. It changed my life. I was first exposed to him as probably like a 6-year-old. I was a lock key kid back in the 80s. And so at home with my parents working and stuff, my parents were hippies. And so I'm watching TV and this man comes on and starts talking about different principles and stuff that I didn't fully understand, but enough that I literally sat down as a little kid and started watching Rush Limbaugh. And he just completely changed my life. I had to kind of do it sometimes in secret.
In secret?
Yeah. Because like my family doesn't believe those things. And so it really changed my life. I'm so thankful.
Yeah.
That's all I've got, man. God bless Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah, that's, I think what many of us are feeling right now. And, the people that never listened, that are not Rush babies, did not spend time, they don't understand and they don't choose to understand, and it's sad. Because they are forming opinions without not only talking to Rush or anyone in his orbit, but talking to you. And to see why Rush had such an impact on your life. You would think at this time there would be people on the left, whether it's legacy media or people on social media or wherever, that would take the time to talk to you. Because that's the kind of effect that Rush has had on all of us. Todd's in Fort Myers. Morning, Todd.
Good morning, Drew. Thanks for this great show. That's a tough call to follow, but he certainly inspired me. Hearing him talk about success, planted a seed in my life. I wanted to know what that success was. So, I grew up in a blue-collar family with a mom and dad that struggled and finally had a successful business, but not after working 7 days a week and, giving up an awful lot of other things that could have affected our family. And sometimes I didn't understand that. But, Rush talking about the American dream was that you had to step out there and you had to work hard and you had to take risk. And if you were willing to do that, you could be successful.
Yeah.
He gave us what we needed. His brilliance gave us the ammunition that we needed to persuade. Something that we talk about all the time, that the left really wants to shut us up. That's because they don't have the ability to persuade us, and Rush did. Rush persuaded us that this was the proper way to do things, and he made us think, what if? Sometimes when you hear an idea, it sounds great until you realize that that idea may have long-term ramifications across the board. And Rush Limbaugh, gave us that perspective, and he made a big difference in my life. So thank you, Drew, for honoring him today. Thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you for the call, Todd. I appreciate it. And he nailed a few different things. Todd did, and I think one of the things that is so important right now on a day like today is that the way you honor the legacy of Rush is to be fearless. It's to be fearless with your convictions. Rush was able to do something that nobody else could do. At least for me personally, and maybe I'm speaking for you, but I'll just speak for myself. Rush made me realize who I was. And I was a conservative. My values. He made me realize my core, my heart, my mind, all of it, and could speak to that directly. And I think he did that for so many. And so I would encourage you to do one thing that would be critical, and it would be to continue to be fearless, to continue the legacy. And I think that's what would make him most happy. Bill's in Cape Coral. Morning, Bill.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm well.
I only want to say I'm 74 years old. I've been listening to him pretty much all the time. He was the truth incarnate. The other thing I feel really bad about, I was talking to my wife about this last night, about how many thousands and thousands and thousands of people will not have the benefit of listening to him, respecting him, and also when you have a man who turns around at the drop of a hat because someone doesn't like a flag on a sneaker, and him and his lovely wife turn around and start the Betsy Ross T-shirt, and 16, 15, 14, whatever it was, veterans got new homes from just that. I mean, what kind of person? Who else would do that you know around you that is as famous as that?
Well, I think you hit on what I was just talking about, and here's the critical point, Bill, and it's this. And I'm looking at the time, and we've got to run, and I appreciate the call so much. Thank you. And it's this, everybody. And again, Bill reinforcing, I think, what we just discussed, which is you can. There will never be another Rush. Never on the radio will there be another Rush. It's not going to happen. But the way to continue and the way to make sure that Rush's legacy lives on is that you would pick it up and run with it. The legacy that is being fearless, that is speaking to friends and family, that is confidently walking into conversation as a conservative and someone with the values that you've always had, that all Rush did was unlock what you already had. Rush unlocked the values that you've always had within you. And to be able to take those values and to be able to continue the legacy in your sphere of influence. Every single one of you, all of us, every one of us has an opportunity and a sphere of influence around us. We all do. Your relatives, your kids, coworkers. And so the best thing that you could do today would be just that. It's not easy. Like Rush said, he makes it look easy, and it's not. As he was joking around, and I played that clip off a TV show, it's like, I make it look easy. It's something you can do. You can't. But what you can do is exactly what we were just talking about. All right, you ready? All right. We appreciate you calling this morning. Glenn Beck is next. Have a fantastic day, and Rush, may you rest in peace. It's Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News. The great